From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody! Whoop, whoop! Vic, it's a small Friday, baby. Oh, yeah, welcome into the Morning Huddle. I am AJ Hoffman. Over here to my left, the star of the show.
Hold your applause to the end, please.
It's Mr. Rob Thompson!
No, we're here. We're here. It is indeed the greatest day of the year.
Good morning, Robert. Good morning.
I'm verklempt. It's the best day of the year.
Wait a minute.
We got here. It's the beginning of the tournament. I'm a
Hear
quitter.
ye, hear ye. It is tournament day.
It's such a great day.
The joust will be on the main field.
I already got the TV set up. I got 3 TVs working.
Oh, what? That's 3 TVs? I thought Rob was poor.
I got 3 TVs
That
ready.
sounds very like a rich person would have a lot
a
of
schedule of
TVs.
snacks. It
Oh my God,
escalates
Rob.
to a fine meal about 6.
Charge
right
it
at the
to
last
Rob's
break.
card.
Put it on the Underhill tab. I'll have a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich. And, well, it's just a phenomenal day.
Oh, it is a good day, man. I am stoked. We got some good action lined up, and it'll get started pretty much right after we get off the air. We should be able to get home in time.
I think we're gonna. I'll walk in as the tip begins, like 10:40. I think is or right about that. Dude, it's just after last night. Tell me now you'll argue against the first 4. Wasn't last night spectacular? Oh man, that was yes, it was. It was. It was such a show-me game. It was such a prove-it game.
You know what? I'll give credit where it's due. Miami of Ohio played out of their minds.
I mean, what's that dude's name? Slapjack?
Yeah.
Whatever. That dude was on fire in fuego. So, no, it was so much fun. I'll eat the crow. I didn't see that coming, but damn, it was fun to watch.
Yeah, they shot the lights out. Apparently, Travis Steele said we want to shoot 43s in this game.
Remember Travis Steele when he played? He was
I don't.
He was a good guard.
I remember Travis Steele when he was coaching at Xavier.
Yeah.
But I don't remember Travis Steele the
Long
player.
time ago. He would have been he designed an offense that he would have been spectacular in.
Yeah. But what a win for Miami of Ohio, sending SMU packing. And I'm not going to make excuses for SMU. They had their chances.
Dude, they're so undisciplined. That was an indictment of their head coach, man. I'm sorry, Andy. Your team lacked the skill set to beat them. You had better players. Man, what was Pierre? Pierre owned the game. He could have scored at will all night. They couldn't stop him. He just didn't touch the ball enough.
I mean, if you had told me that the rebounding would be even in this game, I would have thought you were out of your mind.
They just made too many of the shots. They were making too many threes to grab
what it came down
rebounds.
to is, they shot almost 40% from 3 on very high volume, and it was a lot to overcome. And every time SMU would get close, there'd be like an 8-0 run.
It uncorked. It was just now. Again, I'm not all the way in on them because they were touched by God last night.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness. But if you're going to win it,
this is Miami of Ohio is an average 3-point shooting team, and if you watched them last night, you would have thought it was like. It was 5 Steph Currys.
It was their offense on steroids, but they had to do that. I mean, they had to elevate and change to do
you couldn't
that.
get in. They knew they couldn't get into the paint against SMU, and they adjusted.
Strategy is diagonal passes and shots, and if you can see the rim, you have the green light.
Yeah, and Elon Elmer apparently is Ray Allen 2.0.
That deep 3 with about a minute to go.
Well, and then they tried another one. They tried another one right after it from the logo, and it's like, dude, okay, we get it. You're trying to bury these guys. You're trying to humiliate them, but maybe just take a better shot.
And also SMU, I talked about the first 4 games the night before and how quiet it was. Last night was a home game for Miami.
It was, man. It was.
The momentum, it was just one of those nights that was the predicate to what I expect to be a great day, because there are so many heavy favorites that there's going to be a crazy upset or two in the next 48 hours. There's just going to be one that's just going to be an inexplicable kick in the nuts, because when there's that many heavy favorites, one of them's going to be wrong.
I just have a hard time seeing it.
I never do, but I'm just telling you, it won't go chalk.
Okay, well, let's play a little game here.
Well, the problem with this is you don't see it coming.
Well, I know.
You know what I
mean?
But you can see some possibilities, and
Here are your top 4 seeds that are in action today. So a 1 through 4 seed. Nebraska's a 13.5-point favorite against Troy.
I think that's one of the more likely candidates.
I've heard a lot of people say that.
I think if you're going to circle the ones, but again, sometimes the obvious ones are the most wrong.
Okay, Duke minus 27.5.
No. Now again, this is about not covering. This is about winning the game. I'm making it even harder.
Can Duke win the game? Or can Siena win the game?
No, not a chance in hell.
Okay. North Dakota State against Michigan State.
There's a percentile, but Michigan State should win that. But if you're talking about percentiles of upset, they're a little bit higher than Siena.
Arkansas against Hawaii.
No, that can't happen.
Michigan against Howard.
Can't happen.
Illinois against Penn. That's the least likely.
Well, I'm just
in my
saying,
opinion, least likely to happen.
But
today.
if you're looking at the gauges, I've seen Illinois lay an egg twice in the last month.
Okay.
So I go, well,
but you've seen Illinois lay an egg against
Big
elite
Ten talent.
teams.
You're right. But
this
I
is
don't
a bunch
think,
of
you're right.
nerdy
We're talking
white
2%.
kids.
But yeah, no, I don't see that even becoming they'd have to go Princeton on them, and I don't have it.
Gonzaga, Kennesaw State.
I can't imagine.
Houston, Idaho.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be I don't think a top 4 seed gets upset today, and I don't think one gets upset tomorrow. I think
top 4 seed or a number 1 through 4?
1 through 4.
Oh, I don't see the top going. I'm talking about the 2s and 3s.
No, that's what I'm talking about. 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. I think all 16 of them get through.
How many times has it gone chalk?
Just
it's
the
very
percentages
rare. Tell me.
But Rob, the percentages are out the window.
It's
a new era.
They are, but they aren't. Because the numbers have held true through a variety of different eras. It's college kids. These aren't pros. These guys aren't refined and precision instruments. These are 18-year-old kids that are on their first big event, and things inextricably go wrong. That's just the reason we love this tournament, because they're not refined. There are those depths of mistakes that freshmen make, the timeout at the end of the game that you go, what the hell was that? Yeah. So the likelihood is probably less than many, but I tell you, it's going to happen. One of those top 4, one of those top 8, 12 teams is going to go down in the next 48 hours.
I did pick one. I picked one top 4 seed to lose. I picked Alabama to lose to Hofstra. So
that's one of those where you go, it could happen not because of the 2 talents, but Alabama had their second best player pop for weed. They've had to deal with a player that they won a bunch of games with that's not even allowed to suit up with them anymore. So if there's a likelihood, you go, how? Well, that's how.
That's the one that I did get through. So 15 out of 16. But I do think it's way more haves and have-nots than it's ever been, and it's hard to put. And remember, if you are it's not like, Miami of Ohio going up against SMU was one thing, but now we're talking about.
Yeah, these are 11 seeds.
We're talking about the bottom 4 seeds, 13, 14, 15, 16 are teams that probably didn't win their regular season. They just went on a little run during in their bad conference tournament. But
there's something about those mid-majors that have winning records.
But these are low majors.
Well, but there's a lot of those mid-majors out there, and it just happens. And inexplicably, every year you go, I didn't see that coming, but there'll be one. There's always that one shining moment. We'll get 1 or 2 in the next 48 hours. It will happen.
We will see.
And if it goes chalk, the better for us, because the games down the road are that much better. But I think we all want at least one upset.
That's what everybody does seem to like. And quite frankly, I like it too when that happens every once in a while. I just don't want
San Diego State, Florida International ever in a Final Four ever.
Florida Atlantic,
whatever it was.
That sounds disastrous.
That's why Andy was coaching last night. That catapulted him when that happened. But the idea of the Davids out there. It's just so much fun to watch them roll into it. And last night was exactly what college basketball is about.
Well, good for Miami of Ohio getting their first win over in their first game against a power conference team all season long.
Neither team had won a tournament game this century.
No. Yeah, last time Miami had won, it was Wally Zerbiak taking them to the Sweet 16.
That was a good team.
That was like a late 90s.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun, and Ron Harper was there prior to that. And
SMU, I think they said 88. I'd never remember SMU winning a tournament game. So I obviously they did sometime in my lifetime, but 1988.
That was
the
a
last
John
time.
Concac team.
Oof. I mean, imagine going that long.
Yeah, and it's just one of those where you really for SMU, but here we go.
And yep, it gets started today. At let's see, what's the first tip off is at 11:15 a.m. We'll hear that.
And you got to go find that True TV channel, the one that's way up there that has that Impractical Joker show on all the time.
Yep,
it's your annual find that channel.
There's more shows now on True TV, so every once in a while I'll find myself there.
I'm only there in March.
But yeah, the first 4 games today: TCU, Ohio State, Troy, Nebraska. South Florida, Louisville, which is a game I think a lot of people think has some upset potential, although I don't know. I mean, it's only a 4.5-point spread. It's not a wild upset.
I think there's some variance in all 3 of those games.
Yeah, for sure. Troy, the 8-9 game, or TCU, Ohio State, the 8-9 game has some. I'm not sure about Troy. I think you got to be able to shoot the lights out to beat Nebraska. If Nebraska was playing with jerseys that said Wisconsin, no one would doubt them. It's because it's Nebraska basketball, and we haven't seen it before. But Nebraska's been awesome all year.
Well, yeah, but they go as they shoot.
We're just kind of like, well, it's Nebraska. But Nebraska's like a top 5 defense in the country. A lot of people just don't take them seriously because it's corn. If their jersey said Michigan, we'd all be going, "Ooh."
Well, yeah, we'll see. I think Troy's not bad.
And then High Point and Wisconsin. Wisconsin, a 10.5-point favorite. High Point is actually a pretty good team. Wisconsin, though, been playing some good ball. So that's your opening 4 games. Your favorite game of the day. Do you have one that you're? I mean, I guess the Aggie game is your.
I'm not expecting much out of that game.
No?
I think it's going to be a pace problem for the Aggies. Not that they're not going to be in it close, because I think they're going to have enough shots to keep up. But, yeah, that's not my favorite game of the day.
I'll tell you my favorite game of the day, VCU and North Carolina. I think
a little bit of a revenge factor there.
I think VCU can win.
I think they're going to win.
I think they are. So I'm and I just and that's what may be what we have to settle for now is instead of the teams that have been great all year losing to a bad team in round 1, the big upset may now be a really good mid-major team knocking off a wounded.
That's the prescription. But I'll tell you, there's going to be a top 4 seed go down. Just by the numbers, by history, by fate, whatever. Somebody going to lose it in the next couple of days.
I think it'll be we'll get excited when the Blue Bloods like North Carolina and Kentucky, who have had down years, when they lose in round 1 to a VCU or a Santa Clara. We're going to go, oh, what a huge ups! And the reality is, it basically like these are like pick'em games because Vegas is smart enough to realize that, hey, this isn't your usual North Carolina or Kentucky team,
mm-hmm.
but to the person who only tunes into basketball for 3 weeks out of the year. And sometimes just 1 week out of the year, Kentucky or North Carolina losing is a huge deal.
That's 60% of these brackets.
That's
people
true.
Are just showing up this year and just recognizing blue bloods. But I think one of the best games of the day is right out of the bat. I mean, that TCU Ohio State game. That's 2 pretty evenly matched, slightly different style kind of game, and the one that can inflict their will wins the basketball game. I don't think it happens because you let it back into you. The one who plays best will truly win. And that's first game of the day. So I think the committee did us a favor by giving us something at least for the first 40 minutes or so before the next one tips that is worthy of our attention.
Yeah, TCU, very physical team.
Yeah.
We'll see what they can do with Bruce Thornton, who TCU, the problem with him is they normally don't like to switch ball screens, and Bruce Thornton, if you use
gotta
drop
go over the top, yeah.
if you use drop coverage against Bruce Thornton, he will kill you. So yeah, I think it's a fun game, certainly. Neither of the my problem is, like, I watch these games, they're fighting to decide who's cannon fodder for Duke. But there is something to, like, okay,
this is the tournament. You got to take it in a vacuum.
Enjoy the game in a vacuum, and I could see that working.
Get the points.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be talking a lot of tournament today. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like our first trouble spot of the early morning, and that's a stall northeast side of town. 35 northbound Weidner, right lane blocked. A little bit of a delay from Randolph Boulevard just occurred. Ongoing road work downtown, 35 southbound St. Mary's Camden to North Florida Street. Road work blocking various lanes, so it has you slow from Austin Street. You guys see something we're not talking about? Call us on the traffic tip line. We'll check it out. 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by WeatherBug.
Get the fastest local alerts and accurate 24/7 forecasts with WeatherBug. It's easy to use and provides real-time customizable alerts so the weather never takes you by surprise. Plan every day with confidence. Download the free WeatherBug app from the App Store now.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Porn sites are turned off.
Yes, they are.
They are?
The legislation passed a rule that you have to prove your age. And if you haven't proven your age, which nobody wants to put that information out on the porn sites, they lock you out.
In the past, they said, "Are you 21?" And me and all the other 8th graders would say, "Yes."
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Listen to the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturday morning at 8 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Guys, the tournament is back. You know what that means. The upsets, they're inevitable, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all of the action. You can make your picks and win money right now here in Texas, and it's so easy. You pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on their stats. Points, rebounds, steals, more. Who's going to carry their team during the tournament? You get those picks right, you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. How crazy is that? Keep an eye on these Aggies. They run up and down the court. Expect to have them in some higher scoring games. This week on Underdog, you got to get down with the tournament. Download the app today. Use that promo code ALAMO. You'll get $50 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code ALAMO. Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-MY-RESET or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
The Gomez Law Firm is proud to be San Antonio's trusted personal injury law firm for the past 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us. Your firm has been fighting for the people of San Antonio since 1973. That's incredible.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then turn to the law firm that will fight for you. Visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Where are you watching the basketball madness tomorrow? Join the Blitz live at Novo Brewery attached to North Star Mall. Basketball on every screen, happy hour prizes, and we're covering it all beginning at 2 o'clock. This is where brackets live or die. Novo Brewery tomorrow.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with a Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Progressive knows life takes you in many directions.
Bear right at exit 32, then begin to wonder why you never bought a fish tank. In 1.3 miles, you'll realize you've been mispronouncing epitome your whole life. At the roundabout, you will remember you said something at dinner you wish you hadn't and will think about it for decades. You have arrived at your destination, but it turns out there really is no destination and life just keeps going.
Wherever life takes you, protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a staff accountant at the height of tax season.
Congrats. Looks like the company owes, $50 in taxes. How about that?
That seems low. Why only 50?
Why do you care so much? It's not your money.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
You're listening to The Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
I noticed Rob, who's a elitist.
I am.
Didn't even mention Prairie View putting the smackdown on the Lehigh Mountain Hawks.
They did.
67-55.
Lehigh, they had Lurch playing at center. What a stiff Lehigh had.
Where's Lehigh?
Pennsylvania.
But he scored 23 and 15.
He's a stiff.
He had a day.
Oh,
no. That guy was a detriment. But, yeah, Prairie View brought it on him, man. They attacked all game long.
Yeah, so Prairie View, a dominant.
That team won 6 games.
Dominant showing. Well, they were pretty bad. I got to pull up. Let me see exactly how bad they were at one point in the season. I mean, they were losing almost every game. They've now. Okay, so on February 14th, they were 9-16.
Oh man, well
and now they are 19-17.
Did somebody come off a SCO pro or injury? Because that
right?
who knows?
10-1 down the stretch, yeah. And listen, now to be fair, what these SWAC teams do is a lot of them. Okay, so one thing that UTSA has in common with a tournament team is that UTSA and Prairie View A&M both beat Biblical Studies this year. They beat Biblical Studies 95-48, and they beat Dallas College 94-53.
And then
their other 2 home games before they played Champion Christian on December 6th, and they played Paul Quinn on December 20th.
Well, Paul Quinn's a kind of a legendary school.
Their first
I had friends played there.
Their first home game against a D1 opponent was a conference game, and it was on January 10th.
Well, I mean, they will be remembered for last night. Lehigh sucks.
They went out and played Wichita, Oklahoma State, Missouri, North Texas, LSU, Texas A&M. Like they played a schedule on the road that was going to get them ready to be strong late, and they are. They're playing great ball right now. Defensively, they've basically started shutting teams down. They haven't given up 70 points in their last 8 games. Yeah, chances are good.
It's been a good run. I mean, and that's enough. They got a tournament game under belt. They were on national TV and they won. Yes,
Can you
sir.
count that?
Yeah, so I would if I was on that team. Personally, no. If it's not on the bracket, it doesn't count.
That's what I think.
But I'm just talking about that, what I witnessed. They can't take that away. And by the rules, they say this is a tournament game. So, by the rules, you got a tournament win. Congratulations.
All they've got to do is exactly what Vanderbilt did. And, just turn them over 15 times and hit a dozen threes, and you're right there in the mix.
You can rest comfortably knowing a 16 seed has beaten a 1. It has happened. So you can get to work this morning watching your film. You can do everything you need to do knowing another team did it and it worked for them.
Yeah. I'm not going to say it'll never happen again, but it ain't happening today.
No, it probably ain't going to happen within the next 2 or 3 years. But it has happened and it will happen again.
Yeah. And this is one of those where the matchup stylistically isn't the worst I guess maybe it is the worst because Prairie View they can't shoot and they're in their league, they're very physical. Mm-hmm. But now you're playing against another team that can't shoot in Florida, but it doesn't matter because they are much bigger and much more physical than you are.
Yeah, that front line is like nothing you've seen.
This is a steroided version of Prairie View A&M.
Yeah, but styles make fights, and there'll be a little run, and there'll be that little check-in where you'll see, what did I just see? Did I see Prairie View run off 8 straight points? Pop over and watch that game for a second.
But I was happy for Prairie View to get the job done. That is, and by the way, Prairie View, if they make it all the way to the Elite Eight, would have games in Houston right down the road. So
that was the committee's plan. They wanted to have A&M, Houston, and is anybody else from our state that we can play
think that's
locally?
it. I think that's it. But yeah, if we can get 2 of those teams, there's a good chance that Prairie View A&M plays Houston in Houston, and I mean it's just a packed house. I
tell you, those dudes have played each other a lot. It would be like a pickup game. Those guys have run a lot of ball together.
Yeah. So no, I don't think that'll happen. But yeah, good job. So we get 2 Texas teams into the tournament, 2 more teams into the main field. SMU, sorry, you're dead to us. That's what you get for being from Dallas.
Serves them right.
That's right. But the rest of Texas well represented, and again, we get the first game. Texas will be represented in the first game of the tournament today with TCU taking on Ohio
quick
State.
Programming note: if you're running around today in the car, we have the games, every one of them, on ESPN 1250 and 94.5.
Yeah,
those are running constantly. We'll have the Aggie game here at 6.
Okay. All right, baby. I want to get Rob's thoughts on this Aggie game. We'll do that a little bit later on in the show for sure. All right. Coming up next. This is what I got to say now. Coming up next. You like that, Vic?
That's good.
I missed the meeting. I missed it. So
so start saying that.
That's coming up next.
Coming up next, we're going to keep talking tournament. Morning Huddle 94.1.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Looks like our first trouble spot of the early morning, and that's a stall northeast side of town. 35 northbound Weidner, right lane blocked. A little bit of a delay from Randolph Boulevard just occurred. Ongoing road work downtown, 35 southbound St. Mary's Camden to North Florida Street. Road work blocking various lanes, so it has you slow from Austin Street. You guys see something we're not talking about? Call us on the traffic tip line. We'll check it out. 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Staples has hundreds of great ways to boost your brand, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop now through April 18th and save up to $125 on all your custom prints. Staples, that was easy.
We have meaningful basketball being played in San Antonio for the first time in years, and you know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to go watch the games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Hi, everybody. It's Joe Reinagle. You know, now is a great time of year to get your roof inspected and ready for our crazy spring weather. Be it hot, cold, rain, or hail, who knows what Mother Nature has in store for us this year. Call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994. You know, your roof protects your home and your family. A quality roof overhead means comfort, confidence, and certainly peace of mind. Now is the time to get your roof ready for spring. Call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
Attention coaches, educators, and booster clubs. Need a fundraiser that's different from the rest? With Gardenville, supporters purchase something they already need. High quality, locally sourced mulch and compost. Your organization earns money on every sale. Real products, real value, with support from Gardenville to keep it simple. Ready to grow your fundraiser? Visit garden-ville.com/fundraising. That's garden-ville.com/fundraising.
San Antonio, your professional indoor football team is here. The San Antonio Gunslingers, competing in the Indoor Football League, the major league of indoor football. It's fast-paced, high-scoring action right in the heart of the Alamo City. Tickets on sale now for our season opener, Sunday, March 29th at Freeman Coliseum. Bring the whole family for fun and thrills, or grab a group package for your corporate outing. Visit sagunslingers.com today for ticket schedules and all the info. Gunslingers Football, San Antonio's pro team, San Antonio's pride.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
George gets justice. If you've been injured, get George, because George gets justice. With over 100 years of combined experience and a relentless dedication to your case, the attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers will fight for what's right. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, get George and get the compensation you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, it is finally here. First day of the NCAA tournament. It's going to be fun.
And it's not just college hoops. Spurs and Suns on Thursday night down at the Frost Bank Center. We'll have a preview.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The NFL lives right here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right. The SMU loss last night was, I think, probably a little embarrassing for Andy Enfield.
Yes, it's they lost to an inferior team.
Yeah. This is, though, B.J. Edwards not being on the floor for them is part of the problem now when it comes to reporting on injuries in college. Because Andy Enfield, last week was saying, this was last Friday, said B.J. Edwards, now, mind you, B.J. Edwards, who's their third leading scorer, he's their second assist guy. He is one of their best overall players.
Well,
he missed the last 5 games of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And on Friday, when they lost their last game, in the post-game presser, Andy Enfield said that he's good to go. He'll be good to go for the tournament. We're excited to get BJ back and see what we can do with him. Well, of course, yesterday, BJ Edwards suddenly didn't feel game ready. He warmed up and he couldn't get out. He couldn't get out there and fight. Now, mind you, SMU was one of the last 4 teams in.
So he plowed his way in, yeah.
Because when you're playing in Dayton, it means you were literally the last 4 in. So that means the committee was making a nut-cutting decision on SMU. And Andy Enfield said, yeah, one of our key guys is definitely going to be back. Because if he said, well, I don't know. I don't know if B.J. Edwards is going to play. Maybe they don't get in the tournament.
No, they don't. I don't think they get in.
Maybe they shouldn't have been in the tournament.
Well, now by evidence, yeah, they probably shouldn't have been there.
But now we've got it where you're now incentivized to lie.
Well, you're always incentivized to lie. I mean, that's part of the strategy of pro sports. This is a Vegas problem. This ain't a game. This is not a root for your team problem. This is just a Vegas problem.
Rob, do you think Vegas problems aren't now sports problems?
Well, I'm saying, but this has been part of the game forever. I'm not gonna let you know who's healthy and who's not. That's just part of the gig.
I do think there's one thing about like, oh, he's a game time decision or whatever, but I think blatantly lying to get yourself, a better to make yourself look better to the committee is kind of wrong.
No, it's wrong.
Yeah,
it's not wrong if I'm an SMU Mustang. It's not wrong.
Okay, well, next time the SMU Mustang, their coach says this guy's good to go, I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt.
I don't think any coach should get the benefit of the doubt. I don't trust any of them. And why should I? I mean, I'm trying to win a basketball game. I'm trying to get my team into the tournament.
Keith Gill, who is the chairman of the tournament selection committee, said that Edwards' potential return helped SMU's case to be included as the final at-large selection. Gill noted during the selection show that SMU had dropped all but one game without Edwards on the court.
It's true.
And Enfield said he looked really good in practice today.
He looked fine to me. I don't know what happened.
He's moving well, but I think there's a thing called game readiness, and he just didn't feel like he was game ready.
He got busted.
He said, I could definitely play on Friday. If we win this game, I'm definitely going to play on Friday, but just not quite game ready.
Well, you know what? It would have been worse if he said he wasn't going to be, and he did, like playing possum, and he comes out fully activated. No, I get the issue because there's a team sitting at home. There's a team playing in the NIT that isn't there. But I don't think the coach of those teams that didn't get in are going to begrudge Andy anything because that's just part of the game, man. I'm not going to let you have any idea who's healthy, who's not.
Yeah, the first 4 out, Oklahoma, San Diego State, Indiana, and Auburn.
And all 4 of them
were probably watching that game last night going, you son of a bitch.
Seriously.
Sorry, son of a bitch.
We got screwed. Then again, we would have been the sacrificial lamb to Miami of Ohio.
Oh,
Andy, there is karma in the world. You did lie your way into an ass kicking.
You get what you get at that point.
You faffoed.
But that's maybe that's why. Maybe that's why that's how.
Well, the thing is,
the basketball gods striking you down.
My son just texted, and yes, you're absolutely right. Far better team, inferior athletes for Miami. Far better team, obviously. But when you watch the way SMU lost, it was because of what they didn't do. And then there was the touch by God effect.
I was going to say, I felt like they lost because Miami just couldn't miss.
Well, they had plenty of opportunities. They get it within 4, 5, or 6, get real close, and then flub up a pass or get away. Pierre literally could have scored every time he touched the ball, but they didn't clear out. They didn't give him space. They just didn't do the things to win the game. And you know why they didn't do it? Because they didn't have their point guard. You know what I mean? Because he didn't play, and Boopy is too ball dominant for a little dude.
If it were found out that Andy Enfield knew that his guy was never going to have a chance to play.
I think he knew.
I don't like it, man.
Again, it's kind of a Vegas problem. It kind of is. It affects the line.
But there's a reason why why there's real injury reports in the NBA and the NFL now, because they understand that.
Right. No, I know, and we know where bread is buttered.
By the way, this tournament, more than anything, is driven by Vegas. I got
bread,
news for you.
You got to feed the bulldog. But this is, at the end of the day, there's karma, and they got their karma.
Yeah. I just think it's wild that the very last team in, the chairman committee says, yeah, we took into account that they're going to have B.J. Edwards back, and then I don't think there was ever any intent for him to play now in hindsight. And it's almost like when Sean McVay was like, oh, yeah, Todd Gurley's good to go for the
Florida
Super Bowl.
State, when they lost quarterback a couple years ago, didn't even get invited. Like, hey, we're undefeated. You know that, right? So, no, the lessons have been learned by ADs and coaches. Don't admit anything.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure how I feel about it, other than I'm kind of glad they lost now.
Yeah, it serves her.
It's kind of you get what you get. All right, when we come back, we'll continue to drive through. Coming up next, we'll continue to drive through NCAA tournament talk. We got a lot of that today. The Spurs are in action as well.
They are?
Yeah, I don't know that anybody's gonna have time to watch the Spurs today. Although Robert has 3 televisions, Vic. Oh my God! Maybe on his third television, he's going to have a Spurs game.
3 TVs and a virtual helmet on.
Oh my
all at the same
God,
time.
Robert, you're
so I'll be sitting in the
wealthy.
stands at the Spurs game virtually while watching college basketball.
Vic, charge it to Robert's card.
Put it on the
put it on the
Underhill tab.
Put it on his American Express. American
He's
Express.
not obsessed.
No.
No.
Put it on Robert's black card.
I need the points.
Put it on his black card.
Yeah. That's not that black card. It's a different one entirely.
All right. More hoops talk coming up. Morning Huddle 94.1.
All right, fellas, quick heads up. The 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic at the Golf Club of Texas on Monday, March 30th. Yeah, it's officially sold out. But don't worry, you can still be part of the fun. Join us after the round for the ultimate golf after party at 90 Proof Bar and Grill at Lucky Road Ranch and Highway 90. Cold drinks, great food, and about 1,000 exaggerated stories about the one drive that almost hit the fairway. The sold-out Spring Golf Classic, presented by Flight by Yingling and sponsored by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Jim Beam, and Sarah Auto Group, On the Rocks Premium Cocktails, PPL Motorhomes, and Hornitos Tequila.
Zach Bryan with Heaven on Tour. Saturday, March 21st, Alamo Dome. I wish I didn't, but I do. With special guests, Cam and J.R. Carroll. Tickets are on sale now at ZachBryan.com. Don't miss Zach Bryan live.
Free products and services are the best. They're next to non-existent though. But the next best thing does exist. Barter. Alamo Barter. Right here in San Antonio, if you have a business and provide a product or service, you can barter with hundreds of other businesses that are already members. From trips to a medical visit, restaurants and home services, Alamo Barter is a great way for you to trade out your skills with others. Call Alamo Barter or visit them online at alamobarter.com. alamobarter.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
March Marathon means more deals at North Park Chevrolet in Castroville. Get a 2026 Silverado 1500 Crew for $489 a month, 0 down. Or drive a 2026 Colorado for $394 a month, 0 down. All North Park vehicles get 4.45% financing for 75 months, all month long. Open till 9 p.m. Friday and Saturday. Together, let's drive. North Park Chevrolet, 10 minutes by Loop 410 in Castroville. Must qualify. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
Dave Ramsey here. The only water softener I recommend is a quality water softener from Connecticut. It really is the last water softener you'll ever own.
ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Have you or a loved one been arrested? Call the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, and get the aggressive legal help you deserve. From criminal defense to personal injury, attorney Jesse Hernandez and his powerhouse team are ready to fight for your rights. Calls are answered 24/7 because legal trouble doesn't keep office hours. Call 210-807-8656 or visit jessehernandezlaw.com. That's jessehernandezlaw.com. The law office of Jesse Hernandez. The Texas Chancla has your back.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Healthy vision is about more than seeing clearly. It's about going beyond. From comprehensive eye care with the latest technology to advanced vision solutions that provide deep insights into your overall health. And with doctors who build lasting relationships founded on trust, ensuring that every detail is taken care of. I choose Vision Source to never miss out on life's precious moments. Vision Source, beyond your eyes.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
I ain't asking for much. I said, Lord, take me downtown. I'm just looking for some tush.
So this wasn't a subject in the meeting?
No.
Oh.
He said, actually, your singing's been really good.
Oh, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's what you heard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even mention it.
All right. All right. We all have to suffer then.
The tournament getting underway today. The other thing we haven't really talked about is Texas. One of the games we haven't talked about, and we'll go through every game today. But Texas gets back on the court today against BYU after their opening round
good
win.
For them. Hit the court, man. You're hot. You're playing well. Get out there.
Yeah, BYU a 2.5-point favorite. Travel and rest, certainly the edge favors BYU.
They're
going
children.
Out,
They're
going
young.
out to Portland, Oregon for this one. So Texas goes from Dayton, I'm guessing, straight to Portland.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, they go.
Dayton, Ohio to Portland. Well, I don't think Dayton flies direct to Portland.
Oh, the Texas jet does.
Maybe so.
KD sent his Lear.
Okay. But BYU I think BYU's, and remember, BYU always will be on the Thursday, the opening day of the tournament because they can't play on Sundays.
Right.
But the Longhorns, who, let's face it, stumbled to the finish line.
Hey, but when you got hot guards just make the world go around in the tournament, and they got hot guards. So they have a fighter's chance that I don't think they had going into the game the other day. but ride those ponies. And I'll tell you, some coaches just do better in stressful environments, and Sean Miller's team seems to do that. And because the big dude looks like he can contend against anybody, at least as long as he maintains fouls, because he certainly is a space heater. And Tremont Mark and the other kid, Swain?
Dylan Swain, yeah.
Swain. Those two played an excellent game the other night. You got hot guards and a big man, you can beat just about anybody.
And BYU, remember, BYU started off 16-1. They finished the season 23-11.
For Texas to win, they have but one mission.
And stop A.J. Dubbanza?
They got to stop Dubbanza. You can get beat by 4 other dudes on the court. You cannot let Dubbanza go get 25, because if he does, you lose.
Yeah, I think once Richie Saunders got hurt, you saw a real change in this team. A.J. Dubbanza is a good player. Don't get me wrong.
Excellent.
But Richie Saunders was the senior. He was the leader of that team.
Yeah.
And without him, they just don't look very good.
Because it's him. Dubbanza has to do it. He has to bring the ball up. He has to initiate the offense, and he has to finish the offense. But, the good news is, against a lot of teams, he's good enough to do that. But against a Texas team that's big, you got an excellent defensive coach in Sean Miller. Now, they got some offensive issues they got to work through. But defensively, I don't think they're going to have a problem with BYU's offense, other than they're going to be guarding an NBA top 3 pick.
They suck on defense. That's their other problem. So, they're just not very good defensively.
So they're going to have to stand tall. Big man's going to have to stay in the paint. Don't get lured out. Don't foul on. Play defense without fouling, and don't let Dubbanza beat you. And if you can do that, let your guards go attack. You're better athletically than they are. You're bigger. Set some down screens and get your guys at the rim, because you're not going to outshoot them. I mean, you're not a good shooting team, but you're a physical, big roughhouse team. Get them out of their game, and you can probably beat a BYU team. But stopping Dubbanza is easy to talk about. This guy is next-level athletics when he goes against average college kids. So he can do some things. No matter how good you are defensively, if you don't got help, you ain't going to be able to stop him.
Well, one thing I will say for Texas is they've got athletes.
Yes.
I mean, that's obviously that's the beauty of their budget, is they're going to have the right athletes. It's a matter of if they can game plan properly. I mean, who do I trust more?
I honestly pick Texas.
Sean Miller. I trust Sean Miller, I think, more than I trust Kevin Young. So, yeah, I think I like Texas to win today, too.
I picked them just because I like hot guards. And there's nobody hotter than Mark right now.
Yeah, Tremont Mark, who had he was 7 of 14 from the field, 17 points and 5 boards also in the win over NC State. I just think that BYU is vulnerable. They're not the same team they were early in the season when they were at full strength. And you would have thought, and I think you would have thought probably correctly that if they lost to Dubbanza at any point, they were going to be in trouble. But I think people didn't understand how important Richie Saunders was, and losing a guy who is,
and he's also about the biggest jerk to play basketball in college since Doug Gottlieb.
Richie Saunders?
Yeah, Saunders is a thorn in your side. He takes you out of your game, not only by his play, but by his mouth and his attitude. He's the kind of guy you hate playing against.
But he follows the honor code.
Well, the BYU players have an honor code, and then they got a basketball code, and he plays by both.
Are you allowed to break the honor code on the basketball court?
As long as there's no caffeine or sex involved, I think you're okay.
What about just soaking?
I don't know about that.
Soaking?
I hear tell that that's a thing.
Soaking with Sprite?
Have never having the and then there's a lot of other places we could go there, but Saunders is one of those guys. He's a game changer because of what he does.
Yeah,
and not just his offense and his distribution. He's a thorn in your side. He's
annoying. So I'll be curious to see how Texas plays on short turnaround. I thought we'd learn something about Texas in the SEC tournament, but then they got blown out by a garbage Ole Miss team in round one, and we didn't really get to learn anything about it.
They ran into a coach with revenge on his mind, and Ole Miss went on to win another game, so it wasn't like a happenstance.
Yep, they did. All right. 1 hour in, 3 hours in the, I don't know, not in the rearview mirror, I guess. 3 hours in the windshield. Coming at you, 95 miles an hour, actually 94.1
there we go.
miles per hour. We got more coming your way. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
6 for 6, and the Aggies have the lead.
Your home for Aggies football. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Scott, you've got a question about radio stations?
Yes, I do. Back in the 80s, when JD and I guess Bobo were doing radios, why did stations sound so different, like in a car or something? Were they compressed or something like that?
Bob? Cocaine.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Listen to the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturday morning at 8 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's about time delivery worked on your schedule. Same day, next day, or scheduled in advance. However you plan it, the Home Depot delivers the whole job. From drywall to doors, plumbing to paint, we'll get it there when you need it. Because on the job site, timing is everything. You order, we deliver. It's that easy. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
If you've been thinking about buying a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, think Ancira.com. Browse through thousands of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and RVs. Shop for your next new Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Ford, Buick, or GMC. Looking for an import? We have a huge selection of Kias, VWs, and Nissans. For your home away from home, a full line of RVs and campers. And you'll always get the lowest Ancira price, in-store or online at Ancira.com.
So my friends over at Pure Talk have been sending me customer feedback from consumeraffairs.com, where thousands of people rate and review the top wireless providers. Here, for instance, is a nice note from James in Raleigh, North Carolina, who writes, quote, "After hearing Mike Rowe's ad, we made the switch to Pure Talk, and we couldn't be happier. We went from spending $1,200 a year with T-Mobile to $420 with Pure Talk. Thanks, Mike. Switch today!" Exclamation point. Pure Talk is saving James $820 a year. And because he literally wrote the words "switch today" in capital letters with an exclamation point, I'm going to go ahead and dedicate this commercial to him. So folks, take it from James in Raleigh, North Carolina. Pure Talk can give you unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month on the same 5G service the big guys are overcharging you for. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. You'll also save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 to save an additional 50%. Thanks, James.
This is the highlight of my morning. Hey, what's up? It's Island.
And I'm Josh.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit is that it's our go-to morning comfort.
And you've got that nice golden fluffy egg.
With a soft, flaky biscuit.
Crispy bacon.
Melty cheese.
You want something quick, you want something convenient, but most of all, you want something good.
There's no better way to start your morning.
There we go.
Start off the morning with a Chick-fil-A Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit with Simply Orange Juice. Order on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LAUGH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LAUGH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LAUGH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a staff accountant at the height of tax season.
Congrats. Looks like the company owes, $50 in taxes. How about that?
That seems low. Why only 50?
Why do you care so much? It's not your money.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Cleared a couple of our trouble spots. I-10 eastbound Hildebrand and 35 northbound just past Weidner. Both of those stalls have cleared. Downtown on 35 southbound St. Mary's to North Florida Street, we've got some road work. Various lanes blocked along the way. Filling in on 90 eastbound 211 on over to 410. That's starting to roll, stop and go. And I-10 upper level eastbound before you get to 35 Frio Street had a vehicle fire. It's been extinguished and cleared from the right lane. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
In the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs get back to work tonight after a short West Coast swing. They're welcoming Phoenix in tonight. Tip will be at 7 o'clock in the Frost Center. They're going for their 52nd win this season, though the Suns have a 2-1 edge in the season series. In college hoops, the field is set for the 64. Prairie View A&M took down Lehigh 67-55. Then one-loss Miami of Ohio stuns SMU 89-79. The tournament gets started today, and you can catch all the action on ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5. Here on SA Sports Star, we'll bring the 10th seeded Aggies as they take on 7th seeded St. Mary's. Tip set at 6 o'clock. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
7:01 on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Good morning, San Antonio. How we doing? Let's see.
What do we got?
It's a high holy day. Act appropriately.
Pumbaa says hook 'em horns, 6:30 game time lock in. Franklin says Texas fight. A lot of hook 'ems. Rob, I know you're feeling the same way. Casey says, can we laugh at Bruce Pearl and his crusade against Miami of Ohio?
It is funny.
Yeah.
He had to eat some crow like I feel like I should, but Pearl certainly had to eat some
He was only against all of those teams because his son's team didn't get in.
And they were the least of the last in or whatever you want to quantify.
Yeah.
Literally, you guys were the dead last least of those that had even a prayer.
Yeah, you weren't getting in. Even Charles Barkley was like, no, Auburn shouldn't have got in. They lost too many games. Come on.
He's just trying to keep his kid employed so he didn't have to have him move back in.
And Josh says Miami, Ohio couldn't rebound. I mean,
they weren't supposed to.
They weren't supposed to.
It's not their job.
But the problem is SMU couldn't rebound because Miami wasn't missing. It's really hard to rebound shots that go through the basket.
And the old axiom, the best time to take a three-point shot is off an offensive rebound. So the few that you did give up, the few that Miami could pull down, were immediately transitioned to made threes. So the few that they did pull defensively were turned back into points that fast.
Yeah.
I mean, it does. They grabbed the offensive rebound and kicked fast. And like I said, they were under orders. If you can see the rim, you have the green light. Shoot it.
And they did, and they shot it well. Chicken Dinner says, go Cougs. Yeah, they are the late game tonight. The 9-10 tip-off.
Oh, the dessert, if you will.
At Oklahoma City. They're going to be the final game there.
I have FOMO. I feel like we should be in Oklahoma City. It would have been fun.
Would it have been? The games there kind of stink.
Actually, they're not terrible. I mean, for our interests.
It's Houston and Idaho.
I mean, you can see Houston
play. It's A&M and St. Mary's.
You can see A&M play.
Which I do think that should be a good game. It's McNeese and Vanderbilt and Troy and Nebraska.
So, again, that's another one that I do think is a low-key going to be a very competitive basketball game today. I think they've got a pretty good lineup. And just as a sidebar, as San Antonio has to rebuild and renew the Alamo Dome before we get a Final Four, I hope we get an opening round weekend. We've never had that. We've had regionals and we've had Final Fours because of the Dome and what we've offered. But I'd like to have one of those opening days where we get 4 games.
Well, I think when the new
we'll get Final Fours again. But I'm saying we got a Frost Bank Center that is perfectly adept and perfectly fine for hosting these kind of things. And we've always kind of bypassed it because we were chasing the whale.
Right.
Well, now that we can't land the whale because our boat is out on dry dock, let's go get an opening weekend. I think that would be a lot of fun to have because you get that just absolute onslaught of basketball. 4 games in one day. Oh.
Yeah. I remember when this was a long time ago. What year was it? It was at the Irwin Center, so it was, obviously, a good while back. But the Sweet 16 was there.
I remember I was there.
And it was Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
It was Duke with J.J. Redick.
Yeah.
It was Kentucky, and it was Utah with Andrew Bogut. And so it was like 4 super high-end teams. It was
hot.
Awesome.
And it was the popcorn machine set on fire. It smelled like smoke. It was hot in there. And one of the best nights of basketball I've ever seen.
Oh, man. So sometimes getting those, like, especially like the Sweet 16, Elite 8 games, or like you'll see some really good teams roll through there.
We do every other year for the longest time. We Final Four regional. But because we've been in that echelon,
but the regionals they've played in the Alamo Dome.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, usually they don't play those in like the huge stadiums. So okay. I don't see why not. Although. Maybe I guess the one downside of that would be like you don't want to become a city that's
right. And I appreciate swinging for the fences, but right now we can't. So
right.
I'd like to get that. But I do understand you land in those regional cities like Oklahoma City that kind of can draw from a lot of different places. I see why they get it, but I don't want to cut off our nose to spite the face here. I know eventually we'll get Final Fours again because I know how much they love coming here. We get the benefit of the doubt, but we do have to at least keep paint on the walls.
Yeah. It was 2005. Was the year that it was Michigan State and Utah and Kentucky and Duke all in
you know what? They played those games. I take that back. They played it up at the AT&T. That wasn't at the Alamo Dome. That was AT&T Center. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, the regionals are at the AT&T.
So I mean, they do. That means they do have. They've had experience doing it there. Well, why the hell not?
Well, it's because again we chase the big ones and we let the regionals kind of land in Dubuque and Oklahoma City and the kind of the middling cities. I'm just saying, but I say that by their locale in the Midwest.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like.
No, I would never downgrade little podunk one-stoplight towns like Wichita.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's nice of you. That's very kind of you. Very kind of you. All right. Let's go ahead and I guess we got to at some point talk things besides the tournament. We'll be back on the tournament. Spurs back in action tonight, though. Back at home, in fact.
Have we seen an injury report?
I've not.
I have. It's one of those things that we just kind of come to expect that we're a young team and anything that's going on is minor, and that for the most part they are. But now, as we kind of close the season down, I do think that there's going to be some scheduled injuries. Some time off given to some guys as we kind of. You want to maintain heat. You don't want to overdo some stuff. And if you're winning like this,
do you think that was Vassell the other night?
It could have been because I don't remember the injury.
I don't either.
So when I see those kind of like, well, he's off to do it today due to plantar fasciitis, that tells me
take a day off.
Take a day. So those are the kind of things that I'm paying more attention to than I have all season long.
Yeah, we did kind of luck out. If you are a basketball fan, you kind of lucked out in that there's not really a game tonight that's worth watching in the NBA.
No.
They're like
the league knows what they're doing.
Sun Spurs, Magic Hornets, Piston Wizards, Lakers Heat, which by the way, Lakers are 2.5-point dogs in Miami.
And the Heat just got smoked.
The
Heat just got smoked by Charlotte.
That's a queer line. Cavs, Bulls, Clippers, Pelicans, Bucks, Jazz, Sixers, Kings. So there's nothing that jumps off. It's like, oh, I got to watch that one. So everybody's going to be tuned into the the college hoops tonight. But the Spurs, who have had a little trouble with Phoenix.
They're down 2-1 in the series this year.
So maybe this is one where I could see the Spurs saying, all right, let's get our minds right on these guys.
Yeah, actually Phoenix is playing for something. They're not quite the Portland of last year, which we kind of use as the best definition of teams that are upwardly trending that have nothing to lose but still go win. So try hard's a good definition. So Phoenix is in the try hard category. They're not going to lay down. They want to win.
Well, Phoenix is only 2.5 games out of the 6th seed.
Yeah,
which would mean they don't have to play a play-in, which I'm sure they would love. And also, The other upside of not being in the play-in is you don't have to play the Spurs or the Thunder in round one. True. Like, give me anybody but those, is I'm sure what everybody seems to be thinking. So Phoenix, yeah, I do think Phoenix is going to fight tonight, but they've not been playing their best ball of late. They've lost 3 games in a row. Obviously, we know what the Spurs are doing right now. It is a juggernaut.
Well, we got nobody on the list as of right now. They don't. Dylan Brooks obviously out for a myriad of reasons. One being a police issue, and Grayson Allen is game time. But for the Spurs, nobody on the list.
Spurs 9.5-point favorites tonight.
I think I like that number and more. I think they cover that.
I do think that you're right, though. Even though they're not going to be listed on the injury report, I do think it might be a night where somebody just is a DMP.
Yeah,
it might be Steph Castle. It might be Keldon. It might be one of these guys who's played a lot of games this year. Take the night, Champagne.
It's a good night to. Yeah, exactly right. So while it's not listed now, those are the kind of things that I've learned to pay attention to as the season winds down, just to get guys ready. The one thing we do know that if available, we know Wemby's going 100%. So because he's chasing games played and stats. So he will continue to be, if available, will play until he reaches that plateau.
I also, the idea of, and I know Harrison missed a few games a little while ago, so maybe not him.
But he's starting to feel it. I want him to keep playing.
But I really wouldn't be surprised to see Champagne or Keldon miss a game, and you see a lot more Carter Bryant minutes, because I do think they want to figure out what his role is going to be come playoff time.
Because the first decision is, are you going to play him? Am I even going to put him in the rotation? And then you go, at the expense of who, if I am?
Because I think if Pop were coaching this team, the answer would be no.
Absolutely not. Absolutely. He would not. He would not be playing in the playoffs. Anything that he would have been getting right now, he'd be a 25-point man. You get to play when we're up or down 25, those kind of things. That's just so – this is so new generation to see him get the opportunity. And, this is not the first time. I mean, for the last couple of years, since Mitch has taken over, we've had a little bit looser reins on the rookies. But he in particular, I've not seen a backup like that, a late draft pick since Keldon. The longest serving Spur was the last pick of the first round that got opportunity early. And Carter Bryant has capitalized on it to the point where they could just let Sohan walk out the door. So I think because of that, I think he's getting every opportunity to earn some playoff minutes.
And it's been weird this series because, like you mentioned, the Spurs have lost 2 of 3 against Phoenix. None of the games have been competitive. Either the Suns blew them out twice, and then the Spurs blew the doors off Phoenix last month. It's hard to know what to make of it. It's hard to know why things are going the way they are. And now, obviously, the Phoenix was the first loss of the year for San Antonio.
They hooped. They've got buckets that night. What's that? Arcidiacono just ripped us apart.
I think it was like 2 of their first 5 losses of the season were to Phoenix. So it was all early in the season. So maybe that's part of why they weren't quite what they are now. And I think I'm pretty sure at least one of those was a Wemby-less night. But the first one was not. The first game was not a Wemby-less night, the first loss. But, yeah, I'm curious what you think about Phoenix, why they've been a rough matchup for the Spurs.
I mean, they bomb threes. If you're not defending the arc, you're going to get beat. When Booker and Diacono, and who was the other one that killed us one night? It's just a stylistic thing. But
Grayson Allen.
Yeah, I think Grayson must have killed us. But, yeah, they were hitting the threes. And Dylan Brooks has a tendency to get you out of your game. He's not going to be a factor. And the Spurs can't play any better, or at least play offense any better than they did the last time they played. There's no way they're going to be able to replicate 50% from 3 and 25 total threes. So you wonder, what's the rebound effect from literally playing the best offensive game you've ever played? How do you come back and do that against a team where you're not really all that excited to play?
It's a good question. Although, again, I think if you're saying what's the one thing maybe driving them, it's that this team beat them twice. And
if you're Mitch, you're bringing that up. I'm showing scores and a lot of negative highlights to my team. Like, this is what these guys have done to you in 2 out of the 3 games.
And I guess it's easy to say, well, Phoenix isn't playing their best right now. They've lost 3 in a row. But it was 3 road games at the Raptors, at the Celtics, at the Timberwolves. None of those are easy games.
Out of their pay grade.
I don't know. I think the Spurs should get the win tonight.
And they should cover. I mean, my God, they scored 136 points, hit 25 threes the last night. Even if they're 75% of where they were the other night, they should just take care of Phoenix.
Yeah, and the Spurs, I mentioned this the other day, their championship odds have tightened up to where they are now third favorites. They've passed Denver in the title odds department.
So that starts to play into what happens when the Spurs are no longer the novel guest in people's gyms, where you buy a ticket to go see Wemby, and the fun of that until he becomes Kareem or becomes Wilt and becomes the heel.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how are we going to play when we step into a gym and teams hate us? They're ready to beat us.
No, I'm with you.
We're getting there.
Also, of note in the Vegas odds, Victor Wembanyama is now tied for second favorite to be the MVP. Now, he's tied with Joker at 18-1. The likelihood that I think we could probably already go ahead and get the etching machine out and put Shea's name on the trophy. And there are people like Shea is, whether you like it or not, Shea is getting into a conversation like where it's people talking about him like they talked about Jordan and Kobe and LeBron, and it's like there's some people who are going to be very uncomfortable with that, but it appears to be the reality of what
I see it.
What's happening.
If you don't see just physically with your eyes why there's a comparison, you're blind. I mean, he deserves to be talked. Now, there's things he still got to do, but to say he doesn't belong in the conversation because he takes a few more free throws, settle down. We remember we kind of bitched about LeBron early on too. Like, well, he passes the ball. He doesn't take the big shot. Well, we all have our ways of being superstars, and these two have different ways. But if you don't consider him an equal, or a nearly equal, you're not watching the game right.
Well, no one's going to accuse Shea of not taking the big shots.
Man.
He lives for it. But yeah, it's a lot of respect being given to Victor Wembanyama. Again, 18-1 now, tied with Joker to be in the second in the odds in the MVP.
It was either yesterday or the day before. The ESPN had put together a highlight package for Wemby. And when you watch the 30-second highlight package of what he's been doing defensively and offensively, I think when everybody around the country, including voters, see that, when you take the spot poll, you go, my God, I just watched a highlight. It's hard for him not to be considered as a second. But it's still 18 points behind. It's still, everybody knows it's Shea and the MVP not named Shea.
Yeah, Shea, if you think Shea's going to win the MVP, all you got to do to win $100 is lay down 1,000. You can turn that 1,000 into 1,100, just like that.
Easy money.
Easy money. All right, let's coming up next. Here we go, Vic. I'm gonna get there, Bubba. I am gonna
just keep hitting that rock.
You like
just
that,
keep
Vic?
Pounding that rock.
You like that? Yeah. You like that? When we come back, there is something going on with LeBron. It's funny we mentioned LeBron, but something that we kind of thought was going to happen looks like maybe it's not going to happen now. We'll talk about that. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
Connecticut water softeners have been part of San Antonio's fabric for a long time because they just absolutely work. And when you've been around for a long time and you have the reputation you have, people start to think, well, they're so good, they must be inaccessible. That's just for those with money. That's not the case. Connecticut's available to everyone because of what they do and how they do it. First of all, extraordinary service, extraordinary product. They've got the awards to prove it. They just work day in and day out. And a lot of reasons is there's just not a lot of moving parts to a Connecticut water softener. You don't plug it in. It doesn't have one of those motherboards. It works off the water pressure you got. It only works when you turn on your faucet. Saves you a bunch of salt. It just down and out works. And if you don't have one, it's hard for me to explain why you need to get one because you don't ever have to think about a Connecticut. That glass of water is what it is. Call them today if you need the new one. If you're starting, if you're building, you can get a Connecticut even if you're renting. Take care of your family. Take care of your clothes and all the things that really touch any kind of water. 656 Pure is the number to call. And when you do and you buy, they've got a reverse osmosis drinking station that's free of charge that, my goodness, I paid for. It is worth every penny. Go get the very best. Call 656 Pure, ConnecticutSA.com for the details. Grab a Connecticut, put it in your home, and you'll be happy, and I'm sure you'll come on to buy and thank me later.
4. All right, fellas, quick heads up. The 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic at the Golf Club of Texas on Monday, March 30th. Yeah, it's officially sold out. But don't worry, you can still be part of the fun. Join us after the round for the ultimate golf after party at 90 Proof Bar and Grill at Lucky Road Ranch and Highway 90. Cold drinks, great food, and about 1,000 exaggerated stories about the one drive that almost hit the fairway. The sold-out Spring Golf Classic, presented by Flight by Yingling and sponsored by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Jim Beam, and Sarah Auto Group, On the Rocks Premium Cocktails, PPL Motorhomes, and Hornitos Tequila.
An accident or injury can derail your life in an instant, leaving you struggling to pay for medical bills and daily expenses. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe every Texan deserves justice, no matter their financial situation. That's why we offer our no-win, no-fee promise. You don't pay us unless we win your case. We know how difficult recovering from an accident can be. Let us handle your case while you focus on getting better. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
San Antonio, the basketball madness is at Novo Brewery tomorrow. Join the Blitz Live. We're talking basketball on all the screens all day long. Novo Brewery attached to North Star Mall with happy hour specials, prizes up for grabs, and your bracket on the line with every single play. The Blitz is live starting at 2 o'clock, covering every game, every upset, every moment. Novo is the place to be tomorrow. The crowd, the games, the energy. Novo Brewery attached to North Star Mall. This is where brackets live or die.
America's #1 destination for lifted trucks, custom builds, and off-road ready vehicles is here. Lifted Trucks San Antonio is on the corner of I-35 and Judson. Shop over 1,000 lifted trucks online at liftedtrucks.com or visit one of our Texas locations today.
That pallet of pavers collecting dust, the beginnings of a garden, those stray fence posts. Are you haunted by half-finished projects on your land? John Deere is here to say, not anymore. Our compact tractors allow you to swap implements easily, and they're backed by the nation's largest dealer network. You always had the right idea, and with the right tools, those projects can get finished for good. Nothing runs like a Deere. Learn more at johndeere.com/compact tractors.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
You're locked on The Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Yeah.
Say it, Vic. Do it. Do it.
Hey!
Ugh.
Hey!
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 The assumption is that Las Vegas and Seattle are going to be the expansion teams for the NBA.
Yeah.
And the assumption had long been thought that LeBron James was going to be part of the ownership group of that Las Vegas franchise.
Uh-huh.
However, with a vote scheduled next week to approve moving forward with the bidding process, LeBron says he has no intentions of being part of that process.
Oh, he does he?
I
I think, well, there is something at play here behind the scenes, because he and Maverick Carter, and Maverick being his agent and business partner, all these, Mavericks played a very integral role in NBA Europe.
Yeah.
They're trying to put together European franchises. So I think LeBron and Maverick have kind of begun to focus on a team over there ahead of the NBA, but just because of the timing. But we're talking about financial levels that LeBron isn't even in to buy an NBA team. He's going to have to partner with a billionaire. So that doesn't mean
$7 to $10 billion.
Yeah, so we're getting now. He might end up being a bit player in this new franchise, but I do believe.
But I mean, it could be like a Tom Brady.
Absolutely. So I don't think this is foregone. But anybody thought he was going to be the lead face in owning a franchise? No. We're talking about Saudi princes and hedge fund money, the kind of money that's going to take to buy the next franchise. So he might still play a role in a 1% role and be a name on the ownership title, but I don't think that's his primary goal anymore. I think they see a bigger part of a lesser pie in Europe.
I think that's what I think you're right, because they asked him if he had any intention on being part of an ownership group. He said, "No, not me, not at all." Now back in 2022, he was saying something different. He was saying, "I want a team in Vegas. I want the team that goes to Vegas," and that. At the time, it may have been true. I'm not saying he was like making that up, but I do think what they've started to put together over in Europe is now their priority. And also, like you said, I mean, as much money as LeBron James and Maverick Carter have,
we're talking different.
They're not on that level now.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, there was a time when players could own a good chunk of a team. The valuation of these franchises is just so great now that. Professional athletes alone don't have the capital to be that.
I don't think people really understand how much $1 billion is.
Yeah.
We're talking 9,000 million. So, you know what I mean? You're like, my God. So LeBron could buy in with every penny and get like 6%.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's every penny he's got. So the levels of the financials are just such an astronomical number that it's hard to fathom.
I do believe that, especially in Vegas, Vegas is going to be one of the top 5 revenue teams the minute they exist.
Print money. It's just a license to just absolutely print money.
I guarantee you there are at least 27, 28 NBA owners who are going, can I sell my team and buy that one?
Gladly flip. Absolutely.
Because it's going to be so easy to make money. Like, if you don't own the Lakers or the Celtics, you probably wish you could get out of what you've got and get that Vegas team.
Yeah, I mean, you won't own a home team. You're going to own the NBA's team because you'll never get a home game. I mean, you'll have a few diehard fans, but I think even more than hockey, it is going to be the draw from all over the country to go see an NBA game in Vegas. The two things that just seem to meet perfectly.
Yeah, I wonder how Vegas will embrace them. If it'll be like the Raiders or if it'll be like the Knights, because the Knights, if you're a road team fan, good luck getting tickets.
Right.
Like there's a lot of people who say, "Oh, I want to go to Vegas for a road game," and then they get there and realize, "Oh, I can't get tickets." The Raiders, everybody plans their boys' weekend. Hey, let's go watch the Cowboys play a roadie. Where do you want to go this year? Oh, look who's on the schedule. Vegas. That's an easy one.
And I think that especially Wednesday through Sunday, it'll be very difficult for it not to be a 50-50 split.
Yep.
But I do think there'll be some adopters because Vegas has been a basketball town. They've had UNLV. They know they get that. And so I do think that they are built-in fans. It's not like hockey where I think because so many people came from other places, it was kind of an easier sell than a lot of places it would have been because I'd say 60% of people in Vegas grew up a hockey fan.
Yeah.
So I think it was an easy adoption for locals, but because 100% of Vegas probably grew up a basketball fan, it'll be about a 50-50 split. I don't think it'll be as bad as Vegas or the Raiders, but it won't be as good as the Golden Knights as far as home fandom.
And the upside, there's there's discussion of why is it smart for the NBA to expand?
It is. It's smart.
Now, remember, if you're a current NBA owner, you own 3.33% of the league, 1/30th. that's going to drop to like 3.1% if you own 132nd. But these fees,
they split the money. That buy-in goes straight to the owner,
and it does not go to players. It is not put into a player pool. It is. So let's say $15 million is what it costs for the two franchises, and I think it'll actually be more than that. But let's say combined, those two franchises are worth $15 billion. That means every current NBA owner would get a $500 million check.
I vote yes.
Directly.
I vote yes. Do we want to expand? Can I go ahead and vote now? When do we get the check?
Yeah.
Who turns down a $500 million check?
Yeah. So I mean, this is not a player that. This is not a thing that the players can stop or be against. Which, by the way, the players' union is looking at it. This is 30 more contracts in the league. This is great news for everybody.
And there's enough talent to do it. It won't dredge the talent down. Obviously, those two teams won't be great coming out of the gate, but there's enough NBA talent around this world to populate two more teams.
Yeah, this is the thought is eventually. I guess like the non-American markets, Mexico City, Vancouver, Montreal, maybe some Europe team. Like there's been thought of something like that. We've still heard Kansas City and Louisville and Nashville. It feels like now those teams they're probably not.
You're going to have to be a major top 10 to 15 media market just to even get your name in the mention.
Yeah,
it's just not going to be an easy thing for a small market.
I think when. I think eventually Memphis will move to Nashville because there's more disposable income in Nashville and there's just more money to be made there.
They've been trying to pull them over for a year, or at least get them out of Memphis. Now Nashville's obviously the best place.
Kansas City and Louisville, those are not NBA markets in my opinion.
No, it's just something because now the next competition level isn't. You're not competing with Memphis. You're competing with London. You're competing with Mexico City, great world city, Vancouver, who's had teams in the past, Toronto. They've already got one, but I'm just talking about now. You're no longer competing with local markets because the local stuff, when I say local, United States, is about tapped out.
Yeah,
and that's right. Europe's about to grow, and I do think the growth will be kind of exponential. We're going to go from 32 teams of NBA caliber to about 60, with the other half playing other leagues and other stuff. But you can kind of see where the future is going. And it looks a lot like soccer.
Ren says, Tracy McGrady says there's not enough talent to support two more teams.
I disagree.
The way teams are playing now.
I disagree.
Yeah, I think I do too. I mean, I think there's enough talent. It's just it's
superstars.
It's imbalanced.
Yeah.
There is an imbalance of it. But here's what I also know. Whoever buys the Vegas and Seattle franchises are not going to run it like it's the Sacramento Kings. You're not going to pay that much to suddenly just be a cheapskate on salary.
Exactly.
Like they're going to go and try to win. And I think both those franchises will probably be competitive pretty quickly.
It's not. I mean, especially when you spread the mayonnaise thin, it's easier to get competitive because they're lesser too. You've taken some of the other team's talent, but there's enough out there to generate. There's 20 superstars on the planet at any given time. I think that really legitimately are head and shoulders above the rest, and that has never changed. I don't think it'll change much anymore. But I do think that that second group of really goods is limited because there's not enough teams for the good guys to get enough minutes to play. There's a lot of really, really good basketball players that get no minutes because they're behind other dudes. There's room to play.
Yeah, that's. I think that this is a good thing for the NBA. I think that soon we're going to hear talks about what the expansion draft's going to look like, what kind of restrictions they're going to have in their first few years on spending, and what draft picks are they going to get to start. Do you remember what draft pick? Because I remember who the Grizzlies drafted when they were an expansion team, but I don't remember what pick they had. Do you remember who their first pick was?
Let's see, the first Grizzlies pick. Gosh, I feel like I should know that. My mind goes to guys like Conley, but that's before them.
It was Bryant Reeves, Big Country.
Big Country.
So I don't remember what pick in the draft was. I guess I can look that
Bryant
up.
coming out was probably a top. They're probably the last team in the lottery. That would be the place where I'd put him.
Let's see. He was the 6th pick.
So they got us in the lottery.
So 1995 was when they expanded the Grizzlies and Raptors got the 6th and 7th pick.
So was Steve Francis a Raptor? Was that their first pick?
Damon Stoudemire.
Damon Stoudemire.
Mighty Mouse.
Mm-hmm. Right after coming off a title, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So that was the first 2 players drafted then. Because I think, and maybe the way it worked was the top 5 were the teams that won in the lottery.
Probably.
So maybe Vancouver and Toronto had a chance to get higher.
That's what I do. I'd put him in the lottery with a bottom of 8. You know, you get in the lottery, you might get the number 1, but you won't be any worse than 8.
I think that's probably fair. But again, the NBA is going to be incentivized for these teams to succeed. They want. They for sure want a franchise in Vegas to have success early on. And I mean, Seattle's the biggest city in the country that doesn't have an NBA team, and it has been for 20 years.
And they're a basketball city, so they deserve it, and they'll take the ball and run with it. The ownership group, whoever gets it, will understand what that city expects. Vegas it's going to be built in.
Casey says the new team should get the picks 1 and 2 in the draft
Nope.
and leave it at a coin flip.
No.
I mean, I think they should have a chance to get them, but they've got to win the lottery.
You don't give it to them because the problem with that is, it immediately improves a very young team. The problem is you don't want to waste that kind of young talent in a place like that. Those guys need to go to teams that have had some kind of proof of life before you send them to die in a little, in a franchise that's going to be kind of floating around for 3 or 4 years.
Who are the 8 players the Spurs would protect? I mean, luckily we're still a ways away from that. I think the answer right now is different than it will be when the time comes to do it. And it also you also have to take into account
contracts.
Yeah, how are this because the Spurs in 3 years are going to be. They're going to go from a team who has a bunch of young talent to a team that has a bunch of very expensive talent.
So you get to the point. My fear is we get to the expansion draft, and we're looking at Dillon's money, and we're looking at Castle's money, and obviously Wemby's money. And we see De'Aaron Fox's money, and we go, "There's the way you extricate that contract, and don't we're going to leave you unprotected, man. We're going to leave you unprotected, De'Aaron, and you end up getting taken by another franchise because you're that good."
Well, and I think a lot of it, how does Dylan Harper develop?
Well, yeah, obviously development plays into it, but this is when the expansion draft comes, you always end up losing the guy who's the most important or the highest paid, least important dude is the guy you put on the expansion draft because you can get out underneath a contract that, quite frankly, you're trying to get rid of anyway in a little bit earlier time frame. So guys like De'Aaron Fox or Harrison Barnes. Now, we're extrapolating 2 years from now, but let's say it happened today that we were going to go into the expansion draft this year. Harrison Barnes would probably be on that list.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's the kind of guy that people would want. You've got his backup in place, not quite ready yet, and then you get some freedom from money. So it's a terrible time. I remember the last expansion draft. There's guys you love, and you have to tell them, look, long before you wave goodbye to them, that we're going to let you kind of flap in the wind here for a couple of weeks and then hope you don't get taken, or in our heart of hearts, hope you do, so we can go ahead and make some steps that are going to be forced upon us. It's not an easy time.
But also these typically, like the franchises don't always take the guys you would expect them to take. They don't, because they're keeping in mind their contracts and things like that. Like, for instance, the last expansion draft was the Charlotte Bobcats at the time, and these were their picks: Lonnie Baxter, J.R. Brimmer, Primoz Brezic, Maurice Carter, Desmond Ferguson, Marcus Fizer, Brandon Hunter, Jason Capono, Zaza Pachulia.
Voldemort too.
There just wasn't.
Well, the rules are different now. They were built. I don't think they're going to allow teams to be that bad that early. I don't think they're going to.
They want that.
I mean, and then Lonnie Baxter coming out of Maryland at that time wasn't a terrible pick. He was probably a typical first rounder, but he just didn't pan. But I think they're going to set the rules up to where there's some availability of early talent because they want to have them a little bit of access to winning, but not as far as what the Knights got in Las Vegas. And they'll never allow that kind of thing to happen.
I don't know.
I'm not against it, and let's not take it away from what the Knights did. It took a rather skillful GM to go draft those appropriate pieces.
Well, and it also took an owner who was willing to pay those guys.
So,
but I don't know that the NBA doesn't want that.
But the owners won't. Can you imagine that? I've been the owner for the Sacramento Kings, or just name a middling franchise who never won anything, and then you give the world to brand new Las Vegas or Seattle, and suddenly they're in the playoffs ahead of you. I'm not sure if I'm a general manager. I want the rules set up to where it could expose me like
I'm
that.
sure Sacramento doesn't want that, but I'm sure Sacramento's vote only it doesn't count. They probably get a half vote.
The problem with that is, the Vegas, just like Miami, you've got this built-in recruiting edge.
Yeah.
I mean, not only is it a great city, there's no taxes. I mean, it'll be so much easier to get good fast in Vegas.
All right, coming up next, we'll get back into the tournament. It is the Morning Huddle 94.1.
Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuit is waiting on you. If you got weekend plans, it's Thursday morning. You're getting ready to head out of town after this fabulous weekend's coming your way. Go see the Bluebonnets. Go ahead. You don't have a place for your dog? I've got your answers. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuit. They're just outside of 1604. Easy to get to. A hop, skip, and a jump from the airport. If you're heading north, stop off and drop your baby at Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuit. They've got everything you're looking for in a luxury dog boarding. They got the daycare, of course, supervised play, and 17,000 square feet of space. It gets hot. They turn on the sprinkler. The dogs are playing with the dogs of their size and temperament is exactly what you're chasing. Professional grooming and trading services, they've got it all. Write this number down. It's 210-750-1297. They're open early. They're open late. They've got availability right now for the daily boardings as you're headed into work and heading out. They've got them for you. But if you're heading out of town, make Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuit your first call. Take that off your mind. They're going to worry about your dogs while you go have a good time. Call them. Take care of your business, and I'm sure you'll thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. On 35 southbound, the on-ramp from Somerset and one lane of the freeway blocked with an accident. Vehicle fire that's been tapped out. I-10 upper level eastbound before 35 is cleared. And road work continues 35 southbound St. Mary's to North Florida Street. Various lanes blocked. Stop and go from Austin Street. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by American Public University.
Success starts with your drive. You bring the fire. American Public University will fuel the journey. Learn more at apu.apus.edu.
Progressive knows life takes you in many directions.
Bear right at exit 32, then begin to wonder why you never bought a fish tank. In 1.3 miles, you'll realize you've been mispronouncing epitome your whole life. At the roundabout, you will remember you said something at dinner you wish you hadn't and will think about it for decades. You have arrived at your destination, but it turns out there really is no destination and life just keeps going.
Wherever life takes you, protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us, too, in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.
The tournament is back. You know there's going to be upsets. You know there's going to be buzzer beaters. And I can tell you, Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Hi, Jason Minix here from The Blitz. On Underdog, you can make your picks and win money right now here in Texas. Love playing on Underdog because it's fun and it's easy. Because you pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Get all your picks right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. So download the Underdog app today. Use my promo code STAR to score $50 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-MY-RESET or visit ncpgambling.org.
No! It's just a golf lesson, champ. Loosen up. I can't. See that Hyundai Santa Fe? Yeah. I only paid. Finish up on your own. I gotta run.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, it is finally here. First day of the NCAA tournament. It's going to be fun.
And it's not just college hoops. Spurs and Suns on Thursday night down at the Frost Bank Center. We'll have a preview.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagle. You're listening to the home of the Texas Rangers, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Dun dun dun. Good morning. Rocking out on the morning huddle, Axeman and the Bobcat.
Axeman.
Kicking ass, taking names.
There was a station in Houston when I was at A&M that we would hear, and their catch was, lock it in and rip the knob off.
Damn right.
Remember when they had knobs?
Oh, yeah.
Keep that 8-track under your seat.
Are you setting up a pool for us?
I am.
We've got to compete. It's only fun if there's competition.
Okay.
And we all know Jason and Joe don't know anything about sports. They don't even watch.
Damn.
I don't think they've even watched a college basketball game this year.
Damn.
They watch the Spurs games, I guess, but they're not watching college hoops.
Nah.
They're not like me and Rob digging in deep for you.
That's what she said.
That's me digging in deep.
Get in there. Get in there.
Yeah. Deep. The Axeman gets in deep.
Yeah.
Who would you guess is the most picked champion?
Duke.
Correct. Look at you, Rob. Who is the second most picked champion?
I'll go Michigan, just because there's probably a lot of it. But Arizona probably by the numbers should be, but I would go Michigan.
Arizona second, Michigan third, Florida fourth. Okay, I'll give you the next four are all the 2 seeds. What order do you think they come in?
What do you mean? How
the
they
most
finish?
selected two seeds to win the whole thing.
Give me the number. Give me them in front of me.
Iowa State, UConn, Purdue, and Houston are your 4 2 seeds.
I would say UConn, just by the name recognition, probably comes in second, but by votes, Houston probably come in.
Houston is the most selected 2 seed. They got 6.3% of the brackets on ESPN have Houston winning. UConn is 3.8%. Purdue 3%, Iowa State 2.9. The next most selected team is actually not a 3 seed, it's a 4 seed. It is the Arkansas Razorbacks. Then you get down to the highest 5 seed is St. John's. They get 1.1%. And North Carolina, the highest 6 seed, gets 0.5%. The highest 7, of course, Kentucky, 0.4. It's pretty easy to follow. Like, who's the most, the biggest brand name on each seed line? That's who gets the most votes. Like, that's who most people are selecting. Normally, with the exception of the 2 line, because you're right. You would think most people would pick UConn over Houston, but I think just with what Houston's done the last couple of years, there's a little bit of respect there. But, like, the 3 seeds, Michigan State, Gonzaga, Illinois, and Virginia, Michigan State, the most selected. So it's just, in North Carolina being, like, North Carolina is picked on more brackets than a 4 seed, Nebraska, and they're a 6 seed, and quite frankly, a beat up 6 seed. So the least amount, there's a lot of 0%. There is a couple 0.1s. There's 1 or 2 people out there who think Miami of Ohio is going to win the whole thing. Akron, St. Louis, Howard, Missouri, Texas with a 0.1. Hawaii, Utah State, Texas A&M with a 0.1. St. Mary's.
We have a believer out there.
Penn, McNeese, Iowa, Clemson. Prairie View A&M with a 0.1. South Florida, TCU, Siena all get 0.1. So there's some believers out there. I'm guessing that, Rob, that's your A&M bracket?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured as much.
I did not pick them, sadly. It was not me.
You're not even picking them to win one game?
No, I don't like the St. Mary's matchup is not good.
I agree with you. I don't think it's a good matchup. But, yeah, so there you go. That is the most picked champions coming into this thing. I am not on Duke to win the title. I don't think you are either.
I do have one.
Oh, you do double brackets. You do multiple brackets.
Well, normally I don't, but I normally do 2. And the only reason I do 2, and it's not, I'm advancing the Arizona bracket. That's my pick. I'm picking Arizona now.
For your official bracket.
This is the one that I'm going to stand by. But my Plan B bracket, I always go with the one where the real close picks, I go the other way. Even in the first, second round, I'll go the other way and see how that plays through. So it's kind of a photo negative bracket, but it's more of my what if than the one I stand by.
I'm going with Arizona in mine as well. I only have one bracket. I get confused if I've got more than one bracket, so there's no point in me having more than one. I just, if my bracket stinks, it stinks. I try to employ a lot of game theory. If you're in a bracket pool, if you're in a small bracket pool, it makes sense to go with a lot of chalk. If you're in a huge bracket pool,
you got to swing for the
you got to take some chances.
You got to take teams like Troy and Central Florida in those kind of maybe games.
And I like there's 2 when you're filling out your bracket, there's a couple of mindsets you could get into. One is if you think you've got the same chance, like for instance, if you've got Duke or Arizona, it's really important for you to get a bunch of your first and second round games right. Because a lot of people have Duke and Arizona, so you got to be really right. The other thing is if you are going against the grain on who your champion is, I mean, obviously you've got to be right, but you've got a lot more wiggle room with your other stuff. The year that I won the most money in bracket pools was the year when Zion, everybody thought Duke was just this unstoppable force, and I took Virginia to win, and Virginia won the whole thing, and it paid off handsomely because I was the only one in my whole pool, a pool of like 180 people. I was the only one that had Virginia winning. So I would have had to be like a total idiot for the rest of the bracket for to not win that.
Well, the logical choice wasn't Virginia. You had to go against the grain. on that one.
So that's your options. If you go with the grain for your champion,
you better be right early.
You might have to take some chances early. Like because you've got to separate yourself somehow. If you are going against the grain for your champion, you probably want to be pretty chalky on the rest of your bracket.
And I don't know. And for me, I didn't go against the grain on the champion. Like you said, the top 2 picks, Duke and Arizona, I went with both of those. And it was just so hard not to, because your gut says, especially this year, that chalk is chalk. I mean, there's a reason. There's a separation between the top 8 to 12 teams to everybody else. And it's hard when you get into a vacuum to go, well, I just don't see how or Arizona wins it all. But when you go down the line, it's pretty easy for Arizona to win it all until they get to the Final Four.
There's a prop out there, over under the sum of the Final Four seeds.
Over like 8.
It's 9.5.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how it gets to 9.5. Like I'm
chalk, baby.
Mine is like 7. So I've got a 1, a 1, a 2, and a 3. All right, we'll get more into our brackets. Morning Huddle 94.1.
KTFM Floresville, your home for the Super Bowl. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. Facing production swings or a tough skills gap? Workforce Solutions from Express Employment Professionals makes hiring easier. Find your local office and see how Express can help you hire smarter and faster for contract and full-time jobs. Visit ExpressPros.com.
I got to tell you guys about the San Antonio Gunslingers. Yes, friends, it is that time of the year. You want to have a good time. You want to take the kids out. You want to take the fam out. And you want to see some good football. That's what they got going down at the Freeman Coliseum. The first home game coming up on Sunday, March 29th, 3 p.m., taking on the hated, stupid Tulsa Oilers. And go out there, cheer on your Gunslingers to spank that ass. Show your San Antonio pride, guys. It is professional indoor football. It is full contact. These are high-level athletes. Rob and I went last year to a game. We had an awesome time. We were right up on the action. You can like literally talk to the wide receivers before they run their route. You can get in their head. That's what I like to do, especially against the Tulsa Oilers. That's what I'm going to be doing. Tickets are on sale now, and it is a very affordable day to spend with your family. Grab your tickets at SanAntonioGunslingers.com. You can get single game tickets. You can get full season packages. They got you covered there. Support your hometown Gunslingers in the IFL. Let's pack the Freeman and make some noise at SanAntonioGunslingers.com.
Where are you watching the basketball madness tomorrow? Join the Blitz live at Novo Brewery attached to North Star Mall. Basketball on every screen, happy hour prizes, and we're covering it all beginning at 2 o'clock. This is where brackets live or die. Novo Brewery tomorrow.
March is Truck Month at North Park Chevrolet in Castroville. Get a new heavy duty for 3.9% financing and no payments for 90 days. Or drive the 2026 Equinox LT with 3.9% financing. All North Park vehicles get a 1-year wash tub pass and 2 years complimentary oil changes. Open till 9 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays in March. Together, let's drive. North Park Chevrolet, 10 minutes by Loop 410 in Castroville. Must qualify. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Did you know that for 80 years, Paralyzed Veterans of America has been a lifeline for our nation's veterans with spinal cord injuries and diseases like MS and ALS, and all people with disabilities? PVA has funded research of the first non-addictive pain medication in over a decade, secured the passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act, and pioneered wheelchair basketball. Every life impacted is driven by you. Learn more at pva.org.
Hi, Flo here to say that Progressive knows that life can change quickly, so it's good to have flexible coverage.
Oh, like when I have to take my ex off my policy.
Oh, sorry. But yes, we can do that.
And can you send them a message and tell them that they have trust issues that they need to work on?
We don't really get in the middle of these conflicts.
Also, can you let them know that I was faking interest in his band and it's probably time to grow up?
I'm not going to do it. Just know that with Progressive, you can easily make changes to your auto insurance because we know life changes.
Also, I'm staying in touch with his mom because she's absolutely lovely.
Bad idea.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Just cleared that accident 35 northbound at Somerset, southwest side of town. Still might notice a little bit of a slow residual delay from Kazan Road. We are starting to fill in and slow down pretty much most all our major freeway systems. 1604 northbound, Calabria to Houseman should take you about 15-17 minutes. Almost 20 minutes on 90 eastbound between 211 on over to 410. On I-10 eastbound, Camp Bullis to Medical, about a 10-minute ride. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
In the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs get back to work tonight after a short West Coast swing. They're welcoming Phoenix in tonight. Tip will be at 7 o'clock in the Frost Center. They're going for their 52nd win this season, though the Suns have a 2-1 edge in the season series. In college hoops, the field is set for the 64. Prairie View A&M took down Lehigh 67-55. Then one-loss Miami of Ohio stuns SMU 89-79. The tournament gets started today, and you can catch all the action on ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5. Here on SA Sports Star, we'll bring the 10th seeded Aggies as they take on 7th seeded St. Mary's. Tip set at 6 o'clock. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey-o! 8:03 on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Welcome in. Trying to get the problem with the bracket thing here is my wife has already filled out a bracket.
So you need another email.
We share an ESPN thing because back when you had ESPN Plus, you So now,
Gonna have to do some gymnastics to wedge yourself in. Do I need to send you an invite to another email?
No, I just need to figure it out. I need to first of all, I need to change the name of my bracket. Oh, there we go. Okay, AJ's Picks. There we go. Now I've got it all figured out. Now it'll be really easy for me to figure out. I wanted to go through the games one by one, at least today's games, and see get your thoughts on some of the action. And we will go in chronological order as the first game tipping off, 10 minutes after 11 will get underway. And it will run all damn night, probably till about 11:30 is my guess what time the Houston-Idaho game finishes up. But we'll start off with TCU and OHIO, Horned Frogs and Buckeyes. Rob, what's
out of the gate? This is a good basketball game.
It is. It's a 2.5-point spread, and we've seen both these teams have at some point this season play really good ball. I do favor the Frogs here. I like the physicality. I like their mobility. I think that, and again, what we talked about, I think they're going to be able to give Bruce Thornton some problems. And if they can limit what he's able to do, I think there's a real path to success for TCU. So I like TCU in this first round. I like their big guys up front.
I completely agree. I think a little bit of this is going to be the conference they came in. I think the Big Ten's going to come. Big Ten basketball with Ohio State. TCU has more firepower and they're bigger up front. So I think they can match the Big Ten size and match pace of play. And there's just a little bit more of an athletic bent toward TCU that I don't see toward Ohio State. But I think it's going to be close. I don't think any team will be more than about 6-8 points ahead at any point just because neither team was gifted offensively. They're gifted strategically, but they don't go get a bunch of buckets either side. I think TCU's just got a little bit more in the tank for an early one win. Either one of these teams, I think, is just a one-win team. So, you choose wrong. It's not going to affect you too far down the road.
Yeah, not the end of the world. It's Corn, Nebraska, taking on Troy. Troy, a team I like. I like Coach Cross. I like what they've built there at Troy, but they can't shoot, and that's a problem. And not only can they not shoot, they shoot threes a lot, and they shoot at about a 33% clip. They shoot 45% of their shots are threes, and they make 33%. And Rob knows this is my biggest complaint about modern basketball is teams who decide, oh, we're not a good three-point shooting team. Well, we better shoot a lot of them to make sure that we can pile them up. I think that's the worst idea. And Nebraska is 7th in defense efficiency, and they hold teams to 29% from three. They are an elite. They take away the three-point shot, make you beat them down low. I don't think Troy is capable of doing that. I think that Nebraska can hang, or Troy can hang with Nebraska, but I don't think they can beat them.
No. The problem with Nebraska right now is you just don't know which team's going to show up. I've seen them play really well, and Fred's got him a team. Defensively, they're kind of lacking, and teams that shoot a lot of threes that aren't supposed to, they evidently win games because it's more about getting the ball off the glass. They're trading a 3-point shot for a 2-point putback. And if they're able to out-athletic them and get to the rim, meet at the rim, as it were, I give them a puncher's chance. But Nebraska should just beat them. Just inflict your will and let them do what they want to. But it's all about how you run your pace of play. And if they do that, and I do think they have the guards to do that, it shouldn't be that difficult to win. But it'll be one of those your will works. You grab the rebounds. You control the pace. You can win this game by 12. You do dumb stuff, and you turn the ball over against a team that's going to go get layups on you. You're going to have to fight to the bitter end, and that's where you start thinking, I don't know if Nebraska's got it. So I'd look at the first half if you're a betting guy. If you like what you saw in the first half, they'll probably be able to maintain it in the second. But if they're getting run on, Nebraska could go down easy.
South Florida and Louisville, the total in this game is 163.5. I don't think that's nearly enough. These two teams, I'll tell you this. There's a lot of people who are picking South Florida to win.
I am
too. But I do think this game is going to come down to who gets the whistle. And South Florida they take more free throws than anybody in the country. They make more than anybody in the country. And Louisville fouls at a good clip. If that's the way this game goes, if it's like a tightly officiated game, South Florida's going to win.
Dude, I'm not even as deep as that. I just look at they don't have Mikael Brown. If they had Mikael Brown, the whole story would be different. That's an NBA player who can go get NBA buckets, and they lost that. They're a scrappy team, but if it is just about turnovers and running, that's South Florida's game, man. They're going to beat them.
Yeah, I do think this is a good opportunity for South Florida here to get a win against a wounded dog, if you will, in Louisville. Wisconsin and High Point. Wisconsin has looked really great at times this year and kind of meh at times this year. This might be the highest scoring game in the first round.
I was going to say, this could go like we saw last night. We could go High Point. They're a bunch of other school dudes that have just come together. They're 5 guys that have played at moderately good schools.
Yeah, down transfer.
Yeah, down transfer. I watched them play. They're loose. I mean, they don't play. They're not a tight-knit team. They're not precise, but it's 5 ballers on the court. And if they get touched, they can keep it close. But this is when Big Ten basketball should come into play. Just be huge.
I think part of my concern, like I kind of want to back High Point, and not to win the game, but I kind of wanted to back High Point to hang in here.
I think it's entirely
with Wisconsin,
possible.
But High Point's another one of these teams they've played nobody all year, and last year when they got into the tournament against Purdue, they just couldn't score against them, and it could be a very similar type thing. Once you get up against big boy talent, it's overwhelming. So, but I do think this is going to be a fun game to watch. Both these teams they're going to be happy going fast, and I think. I rarely want to bet on a team that hasn't played anybody good all year, so I think Wisconsin takes care of business, but. It should be fun. Should be up in the 170s, something like that. I think it's going to be a very up-tempo game. After that, so now that's your first round of games, and then you get Siena-Duke.
Yeah,
Duke is a 27.5-point favorite here. I'll be honest. I think Siena, first of all, should have been a 15 seed. Like I do think Siena's pretty decent. That said, they are probably not going to score anything in this game. It's going to be so offensively or defensively they're not bad, and this is it's going to be a slow game. I don't think there's going to be a whole ton of points scored here. I don't expect this to be like a track meet by any stretch, which is why I'm a little worried about Duke laying 27.5 points. That feels like a lot in a game where I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of possessions.
And I don't think that they're going to step on the gas either.
No.
I don't think they're going to try to just embarrass them.
Think about what they've got injuries that they're dealing with. Do they want to burn through all their guys right now? No, I don't think so.
I agree with all that. Siena's going to play a game. They're going to be there. They're just not going to lose by 27.5.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I just think at the tempo these two teams play at, I think there's a chance for at least – Siena's going to lose by double digits, but I just 27.5, so that's a big number, man. Big
for
number.
Anybody. And again, those little schools that have beat a bunch of teams, you're going to have to prove it to them that you're going to beat them. They come in – like we saw last night with Miami of Ohio, they have won a lot of games. They know what it takes to win. Now, you're going to run up against guys that are just bigger, faster, and stronger, but you're going to have to prove it to them. And the longer it takes to prove it to them, the closer the game is.
Vanderbilt and McNeese is very interesting. I'm curious how this is going to work because McNeese is the best team in the country at turning you over. And when you play in a crummy conference and you've got McNeese, if you're not aware of what they've got going, Will Wade was there before. Yeah. They've got way better talent than anyone in their league.
And he's an attorney coach, man. He is.
Yeah. But even when he left to North Carolina State, he left some talent behind. And they've got better players than everybody in their conference. So they've got better athletes. So they're able to get a lot of turnovers and run.
This would be a monumental upset.
I have a hard time because Vandy has an elite point guard.
Yeah, they should win easily.
They don't turn the ball over, so it's a team that is so reliant on turnovers, taking on a team that just takes such good care of the ball. And I just think Vanderbilt's going to be too much for him here.
I think it's going to be an overwhelming kind of game. Vanderbilt is very good from a tough conference who lost to good teams, and they're just physically sound. They're a well-coached team. They're a 2-win team if in this tournament.
They could be, and I said it on Monday that they should have been a 3 seed. Mm-hmm. Like they were way underseeded. I think their resume is a 3 seed resume. Michigan State and North Dakota State. Sparty is a 16.5-point favorite. I always say, like, the worst-case scenario for these small school teams, and the Summit League pretty much never plays well in the tournament. Like, they don't. It's
always a fun story.
It's I hate to stereotype things, but if you're from a Dakota or Kansas or Nebraska, chances are good you're an unathletic white guy
who can shoot the lights out.
And North Dakota State has a bunch of big, clunking white guys who probably they're gonna go work on their dad's farm after their basketball career's over.
But precision beats chaos a lot of time, and we saw that last night with Miami. If they can be precise in plotting, as long as you're precise, you can beat chaos if you control it.
The problem is the way North Dakota State won the Summit League is they out-physicaled and out-rebounded and out-toughed everybody in that league. That's not going to work against Michigan State because that's all they are. They're a bunch of big, tough, strong dudes who are going to be bigger and tougher and stronger than these guys from North Dakota State. So the worst kind of matchup you can get if you're one of these low major teams is like the A version of yourself. Like North Dakota State is Timu Michigan State. They're just a dollar store version of Sparty, and that's not going to work.
Be careful. Those teams just don't beat themselves. So, you should go out and you execute. You should be able to run by them. You should be able to out-athlete them. But if you give them a chance, if you let them in there, they're not going to give it to you.
Hawaii and Arkansas is interesting. It's a 15.5-point spread. It's unlikely that Hawaii wins this game.
They're going to get smashed.
See, I think they can hang. Part of why, first of all, Hawaii is elite defensively. The problem with the defense that Hawaii plays is they don't help. Like it is, they say, hey, you got your guy, I got mine. You can't really play ISO against Arkansas. Their guards are too good. They'll eat you up. I think Hawaii is going to zone, and I think it's going to. And if there's one coach that I don't trust to make in-game adjustments, it's John Calipari.
Well, that's not his game. His adjustments are done in practice. You go out and play the game. I'll call the appropriate timeout, but you do what I coach you to do. The thing about the way Calipari coaches and the way that Acuff and Wagner and Brazil are playing is they just never stop, and you start getting into that frantic mode that Arkansas can get you in, and you can't keep up. And I think Hawaii wants to play that style. That's the kind of style that they play too, and you just talked about it. The worst case scenario is you get a team that plays what you do as good as you do, and I think that they play the same styles to where you think you're running with them, but you look up, you're down by 8. You think you're running with them because you've made some plays and you're down by 9 just because you've turned the ball in between. And above and beyond all that, I'm riding a hot Acuff. That guy is literally might be playing the best in all of college basketball right now.
I also think running the gauntlet of winning 3 games in the SEC tournament, this is where it kind of wears you down.
These are young kids, AJ. These are children, man. Give them some Cheerios and get to work. Have a energy bar and some Gatorade. These guys play 8 games in a day.
And now they travel up to the West Coast to Portland, long travel.
It is a Hawaii home game, but I can't imagine this game's within 15.
Okay.
I just this is Arkansas rolling right now.
I think you and I both like the upset in VCU, North Carolina.
It's not an upset.
Well,
it is an upset if Caleb's playing, but without Caleb, it ain't no upset.
It's a
by rankings and by
2.5 points. It's a very slight upset. Yeah. But yeah, I think this VCU team is
a bunch of dogs, man.
Way underrated. They've lost 1 game since January 14th. That was at St. Louis.
Is this their 3rd straight conference title?
Yes.
Dude.
Yeah.
Look out. This could be a little run for these guys.
They keep on winning, man. And Phil Martelli Jr., who is in his first year coaching VCU after Ryan Odom left. Ryan Odom, who's now at Virginia.
Right.
It's the same philosophy, though, that VCU's had since Shaka. They swarm you on defense. They take the air out of the ball. I think that's a bad combination.
Well, then what scares me about this is the next game. Because the expectation is Illinois gets by Penn, and you got a VCU Illinois, and Illinois is flawed. Man. I mean, they're a very good team, but this is one of those that could crack a bracket. A lot of people got Illinois going Sweet 16, Elite 8, and they could be out in the second round from a VCU team that is just going to go at their weakness. They're going to speed by them.
Well, North Carolina down the stretch was meh. Without Caleb, they won a few games early on. Their last 2 games, they got blown out by Duke. Okay, that's going to happen.
That was revenge, but
and then they lost in the first round of the tournament, the ACC tournament against Clemson. I just think they're very limited without Caleb. I'm not crazy about this team at all.
VCU's old, they're experienced, and they're fast.
Yeah,
look out.
I think VCU wins this game outright. So it's the game I'm looking forward to the most. Michigan and Howard. Michigan is a 30.5-point favorite.
Thanks for playing.
It's been fun, Howard. It's been fun. Well, there's not much to say about this one. Texas and BYU, we talked about a little bit. BYU, a 2.5-point favorite, but I think hold on.
We do have breaking news.
Shams Charania is saying that
this is terrible.
Cade Cunningham has a collapsed lung.
An extended period of time.
Who knows how long that'll be? Oh boy, that's bad news for Detroit.
And watching Boston last night with Tatum and Brown getting over 20. Look out, man! Boston's turning some heat.
Yeah, I think that might be the nail in the Pistons' coffin. We were talking. You know what? Coming up next, we'll continue this conversation. We'll talk about that Texas BYU game, and we'll talk about the A&M St. Mary's game, which is one of the most interesting stylistic matchups on the board. It is the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I got to tell you about Underdog Fantasy. While we're at it, we're telling you about all these games. You think you know what you're talking about. We think we know. Why not make some money off of it? That's what you can do at Underdog. The upsets are coming. Underdog's the best place to get in on the action, baby. And it's so easy. You pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on their stats. Points, rebounds, steals, you name it. You get those picks right, you could be winning up to 5,000 times your money. Look at that. 5,000 times your cash. Are you crazy? I'll tell you, I'm looking tonight. We were talking about, we will talk next segment about the Illinois and Penn game. Illinois just has a level of athlete that Penn is not capable of keeping up with, particularly Illinois' first-round pick, Keaton Wagler. I think he is going to go higher on just about everything today. I think he's going to have his way against Penn. Download the app today. Use the promo code Alamo. You'll get $50 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code Alamo. Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-MY-RESET or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
All right, fellas, quick heads up. The 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic at the Golf Club of Texas on Monday, March 30th.
Yeah, it's officially sold out.
But don't worry, you can still be part of the fun. Join us after the round for the ultimate golf after party at 90 Proof Bar and Grill at Lucky Road Ranch and Highway 90. Cold drinks, great food, and about 1,000 exaggerated stories about the one drive that almost hit the fairway. The sold-out Spring Golf Classic, presented by Flight by Yingling and sponsored by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Jim Beam, and Sarah Auto Group, On the Rocks Premium Cocktails, PPL Motorhomes, and Hornitos Tequila.
Flight by Yingling is the presenting sponsor of the 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Tournament on March 30th, and they're giving you the chance to win big. Register now to win a set of custom golf clubs valued at $2,800. Imagine hitting the course with custom clubs while enjoying a crisp Flight by Yingling, just 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. Head to yingling.com/golf to enter. No purchase necessary. Must be 21 or older to win. Enjoy responsibly. DG Yingling & Sons, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Big games, weekend trips, last-minute plans. That's why Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuits is opening their doors to new furry family members this month. With over 6,000 feet of indoor play space, 5 outdoor play yards, and fully trained staff supervising your pup's every move, your dog stays happy, safe, and active while you're away. Add grooming, training, and special one-on-one time to make every day, every stay unforgettable. Call 210-750-1298 today. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuits.
If you've been thinking about buying a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, think Ancira.com. Browse through thousands of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and RVs. Shop for your next new Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Ford, Buick, or GMC. Looking for an import? We have a huge selection of Kias, VWs, and Nissans. For your home away from home, a full line of RVs and campers. And you'll always get the lowest Ancira price, in-store or online at Ancira.com.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. For the past 32 years, I've represented San Antonians injured in auto accidents. I'm a second-generation attorney here in town. My father, Bob Thompson, has practiced law here in San Antonio for more than 50 years, and I learned how to practice law from him. I learned what it means to be asked to represent a client and the tremendous honor and obligation that comes with being someone's attorney. And here's what that means for you. If you call my office, I will be the one you speak to. I will be your attorney, not a staff member or a junior lawyer. 2, I have one rule in my office. If my client's happy, I'm happy. 3, relationships. A good one is built on communication, honesty, and time. I like talking to my clients. They're the only reason I go to work every day, and each is very special and very much appreciated. If you or a family member has been injured in an auto collision, please call me. My name's Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or you can go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Trying to keep up with today's fast-changing digital landscape? With more ways to consume content than ever before, it is getting harder to reach your customers. You need more than just a presence. You need the experts at Conrex Digital. We craft websites that convert. We curate engaging content on social and blog channels. We generate quality leads through Google and Meta. We dominate your competition on streaming TV. Bold marketing, real results. Conrex Digital makes it happen. Visit conrexdigital.com. That's conrexdigital.com.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday, scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Hey! I don't think we can solve them. All right. Hey! Did you have to do this, Rum?
I didn't, but I did it because I could.
6:25 local time. It's kind of a bummer they put Texas and Texas A&M on at the same time.
They knew what they were
Well,
doing.
I don't think it distracted from the viewership. I don't think either team's going to lose one viewer because the other one's playing.
Probably not. Oh,
Although, man, I'd like to see. I'd like to see put it on record that I respect what Bucky has done at A&M. It is hard to arrive and do what he did in that first year. It's the style of play. And then it's the players that he has playing in this style of play. I think when he gets his guys, truly gets to recruit and hit the trail and spend some money, that he's going to even improve this team. What I don't like is the style that he coaches. It is not high-end tournament winning basketball. When you come up against teams that are well coached and understand pace and understand how to play the game, that style loses. It's kind of like when the spread offense goes into cold weather. There are just certain things that are built into this offense that are beatable, and I just don't like it. And specifically today, you're going up against the very thing that this offense is kryptonite. If St. Mary's runs the way that they've been coached to run, they will beat A&M because they're going to limit possessions.
Yeah,
they're going to grab the rebounds. They're going to do all those things that are just inherent in how you beat the 3-and-D fast break more shots than you. Now, we saw Miami last night. When you're touched by God and you do pull down a fair amount of offensive rebounds that you can convert again, yeah, you can win. And that's what McMillan works for. But it's so hard to do against a really good season team. It's a lot easier in January, February, and March, or January and February to win those games because you're running against teams that you know what they're doing and you just know how to beat them. This is a whole different beast. So I'm not out on McMillan. I'm not mad at him. It's just the style and then the players. I just think they're going to run into a team that knows how to beat them.
Do you know how many wins Texas A&M has against tournament teams this year?
Well, they got a few just because they're playing in the SEC, but not to the level of they're not playing winning games in big tournaments outside of their league. So they're relying on their league schedule. I bet they got 3, 4.
They have 2.
2?
They beat Texas,
and
they beat Kentucky.
Yeah, so
neither one of those are like super great wins. And the Kentucky win was at home, the Texas win was on the road, but they went 2-9 against teams that are in the tournament field this year.
They probably should. OU probably should have gotten in over them. I'm a realist. I think they surprised a lot of people by this guy who was coaching high school 6 years ago rolls into an SEC town and has a winning record. I think that there's a little bit of surprise, and they're a fun brand, but they're just not that good.
They are very fun.
Yeah, they're fun to watch.
I don't think, and I think eventually Bucky will get the guys that he needs, and it can work. I don't think he has enough of those guys right now.
No, he might have one.
Like Rashawn Agee I think he's going to have a really hard time in this game against this St. Mary's team. They're going to limit what he's able to do.
But you shoot 50% like Miami of Ohio and take 40 of them, you'll beat just about anybody. And that's what McMillan banks on. That the numbers say us, the algorithms tell us that eventually we're going to have a game like that. Let's hope it's tonight.
Yeah, they St. Mary's. Randy Bennett has long understood how to slow down the teams that want to run on you. And he, for the last 10 years, has seen the team that's done that the best, which is Gonzaga. Mm-hmm. And every time they play Gonzaga, it's a 70-65 game because Randy Bennett makes sure Gonzaga is going to play our game. And they don't always beat Gonzaga, but that's the only way that they can beat them.
Right, and these are a bunch of Aussie dudes that are in their mid-20s. I mean, these are a bunch of men playing a professional style of basketball. This isn't a college game. They play pro style.
Yeah, I think St. Mary's sends Texas A&M home early today. Penn and Illinois. Boy, you talk about a dreadful matchup for an Ivy League team going against a bunch of NBA dudes is basically what it. Now, Illinois is certainly flawed, but if you look at who Illinois loses to, it's the other elite. It's Wisconsin, Michigan, Michigan State, Nebraska, UConn, Alabama. Those are all top 4 seeds. You know what they do when they play mid-majors?
Punch them in the face.
Humiliate them. They played Long Island, who's a tournament team. They played Long Island earlier this year. They beat them by 40. They beat Colgate, who's almost always in the tournament. They beat them 84-65. They beat Florida Gulf Coast 113-70. They are really capable of humiliating teams that have lesser athletes.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen Wagler, he's an NBA point guard.
Oh, he's elite, man. He is so good.
And a little blast from the past, pay attention. You'll see Peja Stojakovic's boy out there shooting jumpers, too.
Andre Stojakovic. They've got a couple big almost everybody on their team has a Vich or something like that in their name. They've got 3 starters, Ivasic, Stojakovic, and Merkovic. So they've got 3 Viches starting for them.
Well, I think only Virginia has as many Viches as Illinois.
Well, Illinois has more Viches coming off the bench, too. They've got another Ivasic, and they've got a Petrovic that comes off the bench. They got so many Viches.
You got Viches, I got Viches.
And, man, these Viches be balling. These Viches be balling when they play guys who don't.
Step off.
If you ain't got the right Viches, you're not going
to win.
You know what Brad Underwood's going to say to you? Vitch, please.
Grab some wood, Vitch.
Vitch, please. Good luck. Good luck. Yeah, Illinois is going to blow the doors off this team.
I think they are.
SLU, St. Louis taking on Georgia.
Come on, Robbie. This could be a fun one.
Yes.
This could be a fun game. If you want to see the unlikeliest big boy in all of basketball, tune in and see a little bit of St. Louis. What's his name? Robbie
Avila.
Put on them birth control glasses and go to town.
Yeah, this is a team that Josh Schertz brought over with him from Indiana State. A lot of them. This is a lot of their last ride. A team that's had some tournament success, and I like that. And they've got a guy named Amari McCautry who is very, very good. It's sort of a wing, almost a power forward type player, a little undersized, but he plays bigger than he is. Good shot blocker, does a little bit of everything. I like this team a lot. They did not play great down the stretch. There was a time where they were 24-1. They finished up the season 28-5, so not the best finish to the year. And you probably saw them lose in the Atlantic 10 tournament on the buzzer beater by Dayton, like the shot that they lost to them at the buzzer. But I do like them against this Georgia team. Georgia is not unlike Georgia had some good wins earlier in the season. I shouldn't say that. But they didn't. Their wins mostly came against the bottom of the SEC. There's LSU, South Carolina, Mississippi State, the teams that they beat Alabama when Alabama was down.
They won a few late to kind of get them.
Yeah, Georgia was probably not going to make the tournament. Yeah, and then they went on a little bit of a run, but they also lost their first game against Ole Miss, a pretty bad loss. So I'm gonna go with SLU to get the job done here over the Bulldogs. In that one. But I do think it's going to be a pretty competitive game. Georgia, a 2.5-point favorite there. Gonzaga taking on Kennesaw State. Gonzaga, Rob's mentioned this. This is probably the least talked about Gonzaga team that I can remember coming into a tournament.
They lost to Portland this year.
But Gonzaga is really good everywhere. They are, and this is against Kennesaw State particularly. There's some real problem. Kennesaw State fouls a lot.
They're gonna hoop. This is
they are 358th out of 365 in free throw rate allowed. You can't let Gonzaga get a bunch of points at the free throw line.
By execution, by talent, by game, this shouldn't even be close.
And the other thing is, Kennesaw can't score inside, so they're going to have like an elite scoring game to even make it close. I don't think they do. I think this is a boat race for Gonzaga, but not that Kennesaw is bad. It's just I just think they're overmatched here. And the University of Houston Cougars, they will close out the night against Idaho, not Idaho, Idaho.
Man, Houston could break my heart this year.
What do you mean?
I've got them doing some things. Because you get past Idaho, you're going to get past the next game. And then, odds are they're probably going to play VCU or Illinois.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people just going to pick Houston because, well, it's Houston. They've been there and done that. The VCU and Illinois, either team, could be a heartbreaker. I have Houston winning, getting through in one of the brackets that they will get through, but they could break a heart there at the Sweet 16.
What Iowa has, they've got a bunch of small guys, and they've got one big man. His name is Brody Roberry. You will not miss him on the court.
You talking Iowa Clemson?
No, I'm talking Idaho against Houston. You will note he is a very big person, but the problem is going against Houston, like you're just going up against a better version. Like you're not going to out-physical these Cougars.
No, they're going to jump passing lanes. You can't. There's enough. There are going to be holes in the dike. You can't clog everyone as Houston keeps coming at you. 3 dudes hitting threes. You got the big dude that will pull big dude out a little bit. Who's the oldest big on Houston? I never can remember his name. He's been there for 3 years. I think.
You're talking about.
He is an effective eliminator.
Duggar.
Yeah, he's an effective eliminator. He kind of takes you out of the game, and he scores just enough to kind of even things out.
The best thing on the analytics profile that Idaho has going for them is they are a very, very good defensive rebounding team. 5th best defensive rebounding team in the country. You know how much good that's going to do them against Houston?
Yeah.
None.
Yeah, because they attack.
Yeah. You're saying you out-rebound everybody in the Big Sky Conference? Well, I got news for you.
Wait till you get a load of this.
You ain't out-rebounding these boys.
Yeah, like that. The ball is covered in grease,
and
they're after it.
And the other thing is, and this is, I mean, Idaho has not played up very much. They played one power conference team all season long. That was Notre Dame. And they lost by 15 points. And Notre Dame is, if you're unaware, Notre Dame is dreadful. They suck, and they beat this team by 15 points. There's just too much of a talent gap. Houston should absolutely roll. Even though I liked this Idaho team, I was like kind of hoping they'd catch a good break, but no, there's no break here. This is that version of we're good at this, okay, but we're playing a team that's way better at it than us. Good luck. All right. Coming up next, you like that, huh?
Hey, right. Yeah, see what's on the board.
I know. If you just leave it up there.
Excellent production value right
leave it up here, man. That's what I need to get through this day. Coming up next, we'll talk about the most likely teams to go home early and why we think they could. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
You know, Rosti providers are waiting on you today. They want to get you out of pain. So many of us wake up in the morning and face something you shouldn't have to face, that literally you're not going to go do something because it's too painful to do, whether that's going to work or going to having some fun. Maybe it's some things you got to get done outside that you can't. Stop living like that. Call a Rosti. They accept most insurances. You don't need a referral, so you can literally step in today, and they're all around San Antonio. They're so successful because how they address the pain that you're dealing with. It's not take 2 pills and call me tomorrow. You get a full evaluation when you walk in. Hands-on. I'm telling you, they're going to find out why you're hurting, and then they go fix that. And their hands-on approach just works. So if you're dealing with it, write this number down. It's 1-800-404-6050. The website, again, is Rosti.com. They got a great map there of all the providers. I bet there's one less than 10 minutes from where you are right now. Listen, don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love anymore. There's a fix out there. It's a Rosti. It works fast. It's cost-effective. Why wait? Call a Rosti today. Let them take care of you. And when they do, come on by. Thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Just cleared that accident, 35 northbound Somerset, southwest side of town. Also, the wreck we had on the west side at 410 Frontage Road, northbound at Military. Both of those have cleared. Right now, about a 15-minute ride, 1604 northbound Calabria over to Houseman. 15 minutes on 90 eastbound 211 on over to 410. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line. We'll check it out at 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by True Green. True Green. Don't waste another weekend doing your lawn care yourself. Partner with the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour and get a golf course quality lawn the easy way. Sign up at truegreen.com. Then sit back and relax.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Porn sites are turned off.
Yes, they are.
They are?
The legislation passed a rule that you have to prove your age. And if you haven't proven your age, which nobody wants to put that information out on the porn sites, they lock you out.
In the past, they said, "Are you 21?" And me and all the other 8th graders would say, "Yes."
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Listen to The John Clay Wolf Show, Saturday morning at 8 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We have meaningful basketball being played in San Antonio for the first time in years, and you know the Roof Hub has proven to be the best place to go watch the games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roof Hub, show up hungry. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roof Hub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
When it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years and successfully represented thousands of injured Texans. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Zach Bryan with Heaven on Tour. Saturday, March 21st, Alamo Dome. With special guests, Cam and J.R. Carroll. Tickets are on sale now at ZachBryan.com. Don't miss Zach Bryan live.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Spring Sale and get 35% off paints and stains March 13th through the 23rd. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
You know that Chick-fil-A sells more than chicken, right?
Hello, my name is Jaleesa, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit is how it's all of my favorite breakfast items in one good bite. That fluffy egg, that melty cheese with that perfectly grilled sausage. It just gives you that warmth, that comfort food that you love. It is the best possible option for a classic breakfast.
Comfort is calling. Order a Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit with Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, it is finally here. First day of the NCAA tournament. It's going to be fun.
And it's not just college hoops. Spurs and Suns on Thursday night down at the Frost Bank Center. We'll have a preview.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Bad Bunny? Bad Bunny?
Yeah.
Coming up next, Bad Bunny Marathon.
Yeah. Every song.
I'm reading some numbers coming out of Bet Online. Of the 28 original game spreads, not including the games, 13 games have moved in the direction of the original favorite. They've spread. 9 games the other direction. 6 games have stayed the same. The largest jump has been Illinois going from 21 to 25.5, a 4-point jump. And the biggest spread currently is 35.5, Florida over Prairie View A&M.
Oh, man, 35.5. That's a crazy number, man.
Prairie View going to get some money.
All right, Rob. if I said Duke, Arizona, Florida, Michigan.
Sounds like a lot of people's Final Fours.
The 4-1 seeds. If I said one of them doesn't make it out of the first weekend, who's the most likely and why?
Michigan is the most likely because their best player is you can take him out of the game. I watched the game 2 games ago. Well, Yaxel Lindeberg took 1 shot. So if you're capable of losing your best player in the mix, whether he's taken out or he's not active, you can lose a game. I'm not saying they will, but for me, the most likely would be Michigan because I've seen their best player, their NBA dude, literally be taken out of a game.
I don't disagree with that. I do think that there's a level, especially a defensive level that they've got. I mean, they've got the best shot blocker in the country.
Can play. He's
but I think I think they're the if I were to say who's the least likely of the 1 seeds to make the Final Four, I think it's Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
Same reason.
But I think that if there was a team who got upset, between now and Sunday, I think it might be Duke.
Oh.
And here's why.
That would be a cataclysmic collapse.
Yeah, here's why I think that. Because Duke is banged up right now.
Yeah.
And they're banged up down low. TCU is a big team. TCU has the kind of bodies that could maybe give Cam Boozer some problems and make somebody else beat him. And if it's Ohio State has a guy in Bruce Thornton who is a problem for anybody. Like on his best day, he's as good as anybody. So,
but they're so good. They're even hurt. They're rolling out 5 stars, and then you got a guy like Boozer he's just an old soul playing basketball, and they're just. He alone is worth 15 points both directions. Defensively, he's not going to make a mistake. He's not going to turn it over. And the one reason I would disagree, is they've taken slugs in 2 different ways in their conference tournament. They played a huge team in Florida State and beat them that way, and then they played a Virginia team that shot the lights out, and they beat them that way. And 2 different styles, 2 different wins, both of them close. Both of them could have gone the other way, but they're pulled their way out. There's just something there with Duke that just frightens me, that they just seem so imminent. They're just like, oh, my gosh, here they come, and I don't know how we stop them. They're not – Boozer's great, but he doesn't terrify me. But there's 7 dudes. Well, basically now it's 6. There's 6 dudes if they're all, with their health issues. Are still so solid. I mean, and the teams they lost to, when they lost to the best teams playing at that time. So they're a tough one. I hope it happens because there's something about this Duke team that seems almost arrogant, and they shouldn't be, but they are.
It's their uniforms.
Yeah,
I don't think they have I don't think this is certainly not the least likable Duke team.
No, the arrogance isn't the right word I'm looking for. There's something about we're Duke, and because we're Duke, lay down. I don't know what it looks like to me, and I would love to see the upset happen because it's just been really easy for them this year.
I will just say this: the Florida State game, they won that game in the conference tournament. They won it 80-79, and they out-rebounded Florida State in that game 49-25. You have that many more second chance opportunities, and you still only won by 1. If they play TCU, I promise you they're not going to double up TCU on the boards. Maybe that won't happen. I just feel like they've shown some weaknesses. And you're right, they won both the games. They won that game against Florida State. They won that game against Virginia. They were close games the whole way, and they found a way to pull them out. But they've suddenly shown a vulnerability that for most of the season didn't feel like it was there.
The teams have caught up because they don't. Boozer is a great player. And I think he's such an elevator. But as an individual dude, I don't think he could go out and win the game by himself. I think the way they win games is because he does so many things well that he elevates himself. He's a great rebounder. He makes the right pass. He gets the bucket when required. But if Am I afraid that he's going to kill me with 8 threes? No, I'm not. No. But I am afraid that he's going to put 4 fouls on 2 of my guys. He's not going to miss a single free throw. And he's going to have 8 assists, and he's going to get the easy buckets too. And he fills the box across the board, so the whole team is better. But I don't think you go out and say, Boozer, go win the game. He's not that guy. He might take the last shot, but he ain't going to take the last 4 of them.
Yeah, I think the closest guy they have to that is probably Isaiah Evans, but he's got games where he'll score 31 game and then he'll score 5 the next. He's a very inconsistent dude, and that's what has almost killed. He's the one who he went. He was like 0 for 8 for 3 against Clemson in the ACC tournament. Like just had one of his worst games after he had that great game against Florida State and bailed them out. I'm with you. Like you're right. Cam Boozer's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to take away from what he is. And again, he's like the lowest floor NBA prospect or the highest floor NBA prospect I can recall in some time. But I don't know that he's like a take over a tournament, carry a tournament team type of guy. I don't know that that's how it works. All right. We got 1 hour left before we hand it over to the basketball gods. That's all we can do. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Having trouble sleeping? Visit Mattress Firm during the Upgrade Your Sleep sale. Their sleep experts will help find your perfect bed from a premium selection of top brands. They make sleep easy.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here with my good friends from Prize Picks. I've got a little hint for you. I want you to go download Prize Picks right now. And if you remember the code Alamo, you're going to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Remember, that's code Alamo, and you'll get $50 in lineups. That's just from me to you. Now, let's talk about why you want to go get on Prize Picks, because right now is the best time to play Prize Picks, because the season's meat is there. We know what the teams are doing. We know who's going to get more or less. Now go capitalize. As college ends up, as the NBA pros head toward the playoffs, you know that Wemby's trending up. You know that Steph Castle's trending up. You know that certain guys are trending down. Now's the time to go play. So when you're playing basketball and you are winning, remember what Prize Picks does for you? If they start out fast, you can go ahead and cash out before the game's even over. That's why I love Prize Picks. Also, you got good picks? Share them on social media. They're going to help you do that. Prize Picks is fantastic because being right is good, being right more is better, but man, it feels so good to be right.
America's #1 destination for lifted trucks, custom builds, and off-road ready vehicles is here. Lifted Trucks San Antonio is on the corner of I-35 and Judson. Shop over 1,000 lifted trucks online at liftedtrucks.com or visit one of our Texas locations today.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collisions since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney, an attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It tastes just like the best birthday cake ever. Vanilla, buttery, frosting vibes. It's basically a party in a bottle. And here's the best part. All cake, no sugar. And you know I love my cake. So I get that big birthday energy without any sugar guilt. The bottle's small, easy to toss in my bag, and perfect when I need a quick, tasty caffeine boost to cakeify my day. The Funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Just cleared that accident, 35 northbound Somerset, southwest side of town. Also, the wreck we had on the west side at 410 Frontage Road, northbound at Military. Both of those have cleared. Right now, about a 15-minute ride, 1604 northbound Calabria over to Houseman. 15 minutes on 90 eastbound 211 on over to 410. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line. We'll check it out at 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
In the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs get back to work tonight after a short West Coast swing. They're welcoming Phoenix in tonight. Tip will be at 7 o'clock in the Frost Center. They're going for their 52nd win this season, though the Suns have a 2-1 edge in the season series. In college hoops, the field is set for the 64. Prairie View A&M took down Lehigh 67-55. Then one-loss Miami of Ohio stuns SMU 89-79. The tournament gets started today, and you can catch all the action on ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5. Here on SA Sports Star, we'll bring the 10th-seeded Aggies as they take on 7th-seeded St. Mary's. Tip set at 6 o'clock. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Bom, bom, bom. Hey! Howdy, everybody.
You got under 2 hours to get your brackets done.
Oh, yeah, mine's submitted. I'm in. You guys are screwed.
You guys are all screwed.
What's the deal here? Last place buys lunch for everybody.
I guess. I
think that's the move.
I'm in on it, but
yeah.
I can only commit to my vote.
Well, the Mambo King, his vote should count.
Should.
Vic has not filled out his bracket yet.
Yeah, I did just right now.
Okay, have you joined the group?
I don't think I joined the group.
You got to submit it in the group.
Oh. Well, I submitted it in the regular.
What an idiot.
Well, you can go ahead and submit that into a couple. We have two floating around. Pledge put one together last night that I saw on the socials.
Oh, well, he didn't invite me.
Well, it's on the social medias. It's just you find it. It's
on ESPN though.
Yeah, it's an ESPN bracket. I saw it floating around. It said compete against us, so you better put it in. Look on Instagram. I know
he
it's
didn't
there.
want us to know about it. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
We'll find it. And
he didn't want us to know.
We'll find it and get in there.
It is.
What group do I do? Is it Morning Huddle?
We got the. Well, I don't have a Morning Huddle. We have a
Sports Star.
We have an SA Sports Star.
Sports Star.
And then Pledge had one. I got to.
Yeah, find that one for me. I might join that too. Pledge is just trying to avoid having us in it because he knows we know ball, Rob.
Oh, y'all gonna
win?
I
won. Did I win last year? I won in the last three. We have a Sports Star Bracket Challenge 26, which is James's, and then we just got a Sports Star, which is ours.
All right, I'm part of the group.
All right, you're in. You're in. Oh, I can't wait for Vic to buy everybody lunch.
Hey, I bought lunch the past 3 times, or breakfast actually.
Let's see. The Vikings I always like to talk a little bit of football every day.
Right.
The Vikings, who, remember, they brought in Kyler Murray to go along with J.J. McCarthy. They now have also added Carson Wentz on a 1-year deal, which basically says, like, okay, we know we've got a quarterback who's likely to get hurt now.
And he was there, right? He's been there before?
I think he has been there before. But he also said, we also, don't really want to have to go to Carson Wentz if and when Kyler gets hurt. They're saying Wentz could give the Vikings a more reliable number 3 quarterback than Max Brosmer, which I don't think you're bringing in Carson Wentz to be your number 3. Let's just call it what it is. You're bringing in Carson Wentz in case Kyler gets hurt because you don't trust J.J. McCarthy.
That's exactly. And maybe Wentz has something in the locker room. I don't think so. I don't know what.
Well, I do know that a lot of people I've heard a lot of people say that they don't like Carson Wentz in the locker room.
I think
he's not a guy that they want around.
He's solely there as a break glass in case of absolute dire emergency.
I think so too. But I mean, they may be there. That may be
sooner than later.
Like
anyway.
Last season may have made it feel like an emergency. Like, we got to do something. This is crazy. Got to get away from this. And I don't know that Carson Wentz really moves the needle, but I think Carson Wentz being signed does tell you something about what they think of J.J. McCarthy. And my guess is it ain't real good.
It is amazing how the fall from grace happened. This is one of those, it should be a 30 for 30 because while his play was not really even good, it wasn't so bad that you go, nope, I'm out. But there's enough people that witnessed this that are already out, and they were so in for 18 months, where they sold their soul. They traded quarterbacks. I mean, they let go of quarterbacks. They did everything they could to set the table for this cat and whiffed.
Yeah.
I mean, they were wrong. At least to now, they were wrong.
Yeah. And again, they're trying their best to not admit to that yet, but it's coming.
You signed Kyler Murray, Sam Darnold, and all these dudes year after year. It's coming. And now injuries certainly played a role, but this is really going to measure McCarthy's mental makeup, man, because it just feels like they have decided you're not the guy, at least not for the next year. And are you willing to be second for this much longer?
Yeah. The lady basketballers, I think you and I talked about it off the air. I think they kind of won.
They did.
They got a better deal than I would have thought they were going to get. So this is it's now they didn't get everything they wanted, but they got more than I thought they were going to get for sure.
Their pay. They quintupled, even 10 times the salary. I mean, it was what I don't understand here is what changed with the owners. Where exactly were they? Were we getting a mixed message or a wrong message, or were they just deciding, you know what? We're going to see if we can crack this union. We're going to see if we can break these ladies apart and really kind of hold the line. And they evidently didn't.
I guess not.
Or did they always have the money and always plan to do this, but just wanted to build in some drama? It just seems like such a remarkable win at such a late date that something behind the scenes radically changed.
Yeah, I was shocked because I assumed that the players were like, they would have to fold at some point and just say might be a cruel way to put it, but when you're making $50,000 a year, like, you can't afford to just take a year off,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, life's too expensive, and it wouldn't have been in the best interest of the players' union to let that happen, but instead they end up winning this negotiation, as far as I'm concerned,
up from $120 to $130 to up to $600,000 for your
great
average.
News for these gals.
I mean, congratulations. First of all, whoever your rep is that negotiated this deal, if they are not your union president for the next, it's a Gunwake, right? What's her name? The two sisters.
Oh, yeah.
What a phenomenal job by your union. I
Yep.
mean, they went out and took care of their people. The Supermax at $1.4 million, which is up from $204 10 times. My gosh.
Yeah, Asia Wilson has already announced that she is returning to Vegas on a Supermax
You
contract.
think?
So she is the first one to get that. There are a handful of they're recognizable names to me. So these are the gals most likely to be the highest paid free agents. Nafisha Collier, who is the back-to-back MVP runner-up. She's a free agent. I mean, I don't know what she's going to get paid. Obviously, I would guess a supermax. I don't know by who. She's been playing for the Minnesota Lynx. We'll see if that continues. Brianna Stewart, the New York Liberty forward. The Jackie Young, another Aces guard who, we'll see if she wants to say. I don't know how many supermaxes you can have on a team.
I don't know their math at all. What I'm interested to see as this shakes out is we didn't get news on some of the other stuff. I get the sense that if I'm paying you guys $1.6 million, if I'm paying you guys a minimum $600,000, go get your own damn apartment. I ain't paying.
Kind of where I'm at.
Kind of like that housing stuff. That's gone. You're gonna have to fix that yourself. And I get the sense that with the amount of money that's coming in on the front end, I imagine that retirement bit for the old heads ain't going to be quite as big as they thought it might be, or we're hoping it might be, because there's just not that much money to go around, and it seems like so much of it is coming up front to the players, where it quite frankly should be. But I think we'll find out that they gave up some of the things that they were fighting for when they didn't think they were going to get as much money as they did.
Because it just sounds like it's too good to be true for them, right?
Like, we're not also going to fund your apartment while you're living with us. So I'm paying you $600,000. You can go rent your own spot.
That's what I would have thought, but I mean.
But those numbers aren't out yet. The peripheral part of this CBA we haven't seen yet, but I get the sense some of those things that we didn't even know really existed, nor should they, are gone.
And then finally, Max Crosby finally got to speak out about what went on in Baltimore, and why he, what the emotional roller coaster he was on was. Here's Max being told when he found out that when he was told by Baltimore that his knee wasn't going to hold up for him.
I went there, did my thing, had my MRIs. I was asking Joe, could I? Before I left, I wanted to see the head coach and just chop it up, talk football, talk ball. He's a defensive guy. Never met him before like that, so I wanted to chop it up. So I didn't get to meet with him till the end of the day. I didn't get to see the GM at all. I thought I was going to see him when I first got there. I didn't see him for 5 hours.
So he didn't come out the whole time you're testing or doing your physical. Everyone's talking about
never.
The GM never came once out to see you.
And I don't know why. I'm not going to speculate.
I know why.
I didn't see him one time. I even asked the girl. I was like, "Where's Eric at?" I want to say, you know what I mean? He just made the trade. I didn't see him for 5 hours. So I go and do my thing. At the end, they're like, "Yeah, I'll take you up." Joe was like, "I'll take you up and you go see the head coach, whatever, just before you leave." I was like, "Hell yeah!" I was like, "That's what I want to say what's up to him." So I went back up, and I dap him up. And I could just tell, the energy was a little bit off. And the GM was standing in the hall, in the room next to me, to the right. And that was the first time I seen him. And, I'm just in my head, this is a whirlwind. I'm so excited, fired up. You know what I mean? This is a new opportunity, whatever. And you could just tell the energy was off. I dapped him up. He had, a blank face. And I'm like, okay. I'm not thinking anything of it. Maybe he's just different. I don't know. I don't know him, whatever.
What a crazy story.
Yeah, he continues talking about when they finally told him what's going on with his knee.
I go into the room. They sit me down on the couch, and he's like, "Man, I don't know how to say this, but, one of our doctors has concerns with, with the results and whatever, and, with your knee, some of them have, are concerned about the future and da-da-da-da-da, and, we really want you, and this is what it is, but, we're just going to have to get more and more opinions." And I was like, the first thought in my head, I was terrified because I'm thinking in my head, what the f***? I just had, Neil Elitrosh, best f***ing surgeon in the country, the best of the best. He's done all my surgeries for the most part. That's my guy. I go to his house. That's my dude. He's the best. So I haven't even got to talk to him, or I hadn't got to talk to CJ at that point. So it just kind of hit me. I'm like, what the f***? Is there something wrong? I'm freaking out, low key, deep down. I'm like, I can't get another surgery. I can't, my time. I'm like, this is f***ed up. So I'm what is going on, bro?
So then he calls his surgeon. And I won't play the clip here is long. I'm not going to play it, but he calls his surgeon, and his surgeon goes through his results again and says, "No, dude, you're where you're supposed to be. You're on track. I'm telling you, everything right now is where I want it to be. So Max is like, okay, he calms down a little bit, like, okay, it's not the end of the world. Well, then they tell him that they're backing out. This was Max when he finds out that that it's not going to go down.
So I'm sitting there waiting for a call. I can't even sit still, bro. I'm like, what the f***? Call CJ back. He hits me. He's like, yo, they're backing out. And it's crazy because their guy like called me. One of the Ravens guys called me and it's like, yo, we're trying to figure this out. You know, we're gonna get this done. Don't worry. Like 5 minutes later, CJ calls me. It's like, they're backing out. I'm like, holy. So I'm like frozen. I'm like, what the? I'm livid, confused, the whole 9 all in one.
What a wild roller coaster ride that was.
I've said it before. I'm a firm believer in karma. I am. I think that
it feels like a scummy move by the Ravens.
Good in, good out, garbage in, garbage out. And this Baltimore is going to pay a price for this because what they did was they asked 2 girls to the prom. And they ended up going with one that was the cheaper version. They got Max, and then Henderson's agent called and said, well, you know, we've reevaluated, and we're going to say yes. And then, wait a minute, we got 2 coming. We got to figure this out. And then they went and negotiated with Henderson, obviously, while Max was in the building.
It is wild, man.
Man, there is karma. At some point, the Ravens are going to pay a price for this. And I'll tell you what, I'm more impressed with Max Crosby today than I've ever been because the way he addressed this, like, it's you know, and you didn't say God telling me, but it's like, obviously, I meant to be a Raider. So I'm all in on this. He has handled it with aplomb, man.
Yeah, here's the final comment Max had.
I'm not letting nobody knock my shine or make me feel weird or anything. I'm like, bro, it happens for a reason. I know exactly who I am. I'm healthy. I'm crushing my rehab. I'm doing what I'm doing. I wasn't supposed to be in Baltimore. And that's it. You know what I mean? I'm meant to be a Raider. It's through my damn core. And that's it.
Jerry, go trade for him. Go get him. Dude, I'm in on him. That kind of guy's the guy I want on my team.
I love Max Crosby, and like, you know, I felt bad for him. I mean, in a way, I felt happy for him because he was going to get to go to the Ravens. I feel like they did him wrong. I feel like they did the Raiders wrong, quite frankly.
Everything about this stinks.
And now I it's hard not to feel bad for him because I know like the Raiders are the Raiders. They're going to stink, and it sucks for him because he's a really good player and he's a fun guy to cheer for, but you're limited by
to walk in to be so
your
excited
uniform.
To know that, man, I'm being traded to a Super Bowl contender and a place that will appreciate what I do and how I do it. And the GM doesn't even show up early on. And then when I finally do see him, he's like, oh, crap, nobody told him.
Yeah, no. That's crazy. He's
Dude,
like,
that's
energy's
awful.
just off. Oh, I can't even imagine. Like, oh, what are you doing? All right. Coming up next, we will look at what's going on in the world outside of sports. It is the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We've got a new trouble spot downtown, 35 upper level northbound at Laredo Street. Right lane blocked with a stall. Slow from 90. And this wreck at 90 eastbound Ogalito still has 2 right lanes blocked. Stop and go from 36th Street, west side of town. On 35 northbound, the on-ramp from O'Connor, that entry ramp is blocked. We've got some road work going on the frontage road. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement. Batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Where are you watching the basketball madness tomorrow? Join the Blitz live at Novo Brewery, attached to North Star Mall. Basketball on every screen, happy hour prizes, and we're covering it all beginning at 2 o'clock. This is where brackets live or die. Novo Brewery tomorrow.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
Your professional indoor football team, the San Antonio Gunslingers, kick off Sunday, March 29th at Freeman Coliseum. Tickets on sale now. Season, group, individual. Bring your family, friends, or your crew. Get yours at sagunslingers.com. Guns up.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Hi, I'm Jason Thompson, and I've represented folks here in San Antonio injured by negligent drivers for more than 30 years. If you or a family member has been seriously injured, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've heard from many of my clients that after they were involved in a collision, they would get phone calls asking them to hire an attorney. This is highly irregular and probably illegal. Any attorney that is trying to contact you either directly or through a marketing company is not the kind of attorney that you should trust with such a serious matter. Quite frankly, it's creepy. If you call me, we will speak directly. If you hire me, it will be after you and I have talked. I will explain what I can do for you, and you can decide what you would like me to do next. The phone call and the consultation are free. Getting a smart result requires that you make smart decisions along the way, and that's my job, to help you and your family make smart decisions, and that's based on more than 30 years of experience. If you've been injured in an accident, call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
This college basketball tournament moment is brought to you by Marriott Bonvoy.
In the 2019 NCAA tournament, 12-seeded Murray State was led by projected lottery pick Ja Morant. In the opening round against 5th-seeded Marquette, Morant put up a rare triple-double, scoring 17 points, 16 assists, and 11 rebounds.
Obviously, I wouldn't be able to get the triple-double without my teammates making shots.
He followed that with 28 points against 4th-seeded Florida State.
Marriott Bonvoy, where game day checks in.
Clinton Yates here. Game day brings the excitement. Your stay should feel just as memorable. With Marriott Bonvoy, official hotel partner of the NCAA and U.S. Soccer, you're connected to a portfolio of brands designed for how you travel. Some offer complimentary breakfast. Others give you room to spread out, space to stay productive, or extended stay comforts. So whether you're a traveling fan or part of the team, Marriott Bonvoy celebrates the moments that live on before and after the game. Marriott Bonvoy, where game day checks in.
Life is full of choices, some big, some small. And when you choose an H&R Block Tax Pro, you're choosing the largest network of tax expertise to be in your corner. For when your big ambitions need help with the small details. For when your 6 figures come from 6 different places. For when your gaming stream becomes your revenue stream. For when your business's year 1 needs 70 years of tax know-how. At H&R Block, we've seen it all, and we're here to help you make the most out of your money for life outside the box. Get started at hrblock.com.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
You're listening to The Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Try your best. Try everything you can. Doesn't matter if they all themselves when you're away. Tell them, Vic.
What?
It just takes some time. Little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine.
That's
what?
That's what I'm going to be saying about 8 o'clock tonight when my bracket's already blown up, already out of it.
Boo.
Jenkins down in HR's got a perfect bracket, and she doesn't know what the hell she's doing. Ugh.
Watch me have the perfect
Yeah,
bracket.
Vic's winning this thing with a perfect bracket.
It'll be Vic.
Yeah, and y'all owe me lunch.
And meanwhile,
or
I'm
Joe.
at home
Be
with like,
Reinagel of all people.
oh yeah, and at my house I've got like the beautiful mind wall with yarn everywhere, trying to find the champion, and I'm checking in and stuff, and you're just like, well, which team wears yellow?
Yeah,
I'm gonna pick the team in blue.
Yeah.
Oh, I like blue.
Meanwhile, I got stats.
I love Tigers.
I've been following a coach for 8 years. I know that their point guard's got a little bit of the sniffles, and his girlfriend's messing around with the other dude, so he might not be all in. And you're like, you wear blue. I'm going with them.
I want that one.
Have you ever wondered why there's no all the sports teams are named after like lions and tigers and bears?
Yeah, a bunch of animals. Yeah.
How come there's no like gorillas?
There's a gorilla.
There's no gorilla mascots in sports.
There's a couple of gorillas, but not big time one.
But why not?
I don't know.
They
don't strike fear in the
apes
heart.
should strike fear.
They're pets. They're cute.
Gorilla, a silverback.
Oh yeah.
Think about the San Antonio Silverbacks. How cool would that be?
That's ageism.
No, the silverbacks can be young and virile.
I'd like to think so.
You're thinking of silver foxes, not this. That's you. You would be the mascot for them. Rob, the San Antonio. I'm Rob Thompson, the voice of the San Antonio Silver Foxes.
So, Pittsburgh. Let's change the subject quickly. The Pittsburgh State University of Kansas. They're the gorillas.
That's such a great mascot.
It really kind of is.
No one uses it. I don't understand.
Phoenix has a gorilla as a mascot, but they don't call them. I thought there was a Texas high school team that was a gorilla.
But why not like the Silverbacks?
I don't think when the mascots were being named way back then, that gorillas and monkeys were top of mind.
Yeah. It's actually a racial thing.
You think so? That. Yeah, I guess so.
But, I mean, even before that, it would have been a racial thing because we were going redskin all the time. I mean, we did a lot of that.
Yeah.
So even before that, I don't think it was top of mind. They weren't scary enough. Or
dude, gorillas are like the scariest.
You'd think. But
I'm way more.
Oh, they got looking soccer.
But then you got. But if you're the gorillas, what are you going to do when it's like the lady gorilla basketball team?
You call them the Lady Gorillas.
I don't think I'd ever go play.
Well, then don't make them a college team. Why not a pro team?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to vote for it now. The Las Vegas Gorillas, Las Vegas Silverbacks, to be the new NBA team.
Are the Gorillas from Vegas? I mean, the band, the Gorillas, are they a Vegas team? Vegas band?
I don't think so.
It was Atlanta in soccer that had the Silverbacks before.
Oh, there was a Silverback. It'd be a good jersey too.
Right?
It makes itself.
There it is.
Man,
it's silver in the back.
If I ever create a youth sports team, we're going to be the Silverbacks.
Oh yeah, the Silverbacks. Yeah, the Hoffman Silverbacks.
No.
Least used team mascot names. Jazz.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Not a lot of that.
Pirates.
Pirates are all right.
A lot of pirates. Avalanche, another one that's only been used once.
Okay.
Keep It Sports, he says, maybe because they're not a native animal. Well, neither are lions or tigers.
But those in lore, you read books about it. You know, you knew about the.
I'm starting to think gorillas are underrated animals.
Well,
it's a crime, quite frankly.
We've got we got monkeys down south. We do have dilly monkeys. We have monkeys in Texas, so you could be like
chongos.
The dilly monkeys.
Hey, the chongos would be good. That's a good.
The chongos wangos.
That's the chongos
or chongas wangas.
That's a good dirt league baseball team name.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They say chongos.
Yeah. Maybe when the Missions build their new stadium, they should switch their name to the Chongos.
To the Chongos. Orale.
Orale, Chongo.
Yeah. Or just chanclas.
That's a.
They do use that. They use that for sure. All right, I want to see what's going on in the world outside of sports. Ray J. Oh,
really?
no.
One of my favorite dudes.
Now what?
Yes.
What happened with Ray J?
Ray J's being sued, in fact, by American Express.
Uh-oh.
Don't leave home without it.
Uh-oh.
Well, he left home without paying his bill, apparently. They're suing him for $78,700, claiming he didn't pay back the balance on a credit card.
See, that's the problem with Amex. They'll just let you keep charging. You ain't got no limit. Just
go for it, man. You just got to pay it off.
In trouble.
Back in December, they claimed that he owed $139,000. At the time, they also sued his company, the Tronics Network. Apparently, he paid some of that off, but then not all of it. Between these lawsuits, and he's got an ongoing lawsuit with Kris Jenner and Kim Kardashian, Ray J may be running out of money. Is the problem here?
We need another sex tape.
That'd be the move, maybe.
Find an unsuspecting, or maybe make some more music.
I don't know that that's going to work.
Quantify that as music.
I don't think that that's going to work for Ray J. I don't think that's going to. Yeah, I think his time there is done. But
he did make Sharknado. He was in the movie.
He was. That's right.
He could get acting again.
In the most shocking news ever, do you know who the Duggars are?
Is that giant family?
Yes. So
what?
Yeah,
they look like 25 kids.
Yeah, they had that show.
And there's some like pedophile stuff involved with this
yeah,
too,
so
right?
one
The
oldest brother, like, apparently molested all his sisters.
Good grief!
And then he got arrested back in 2021, charged with receiving and possessing child porn. He got found guilty, and he is stuck in prison now until I think 2030 or something like that, which is great news, right? Well, yet another one of these Duggar boys is now caught with child porn. Like, I don't know. Maybe if you're raised in a family with like 50 people and you're just allowed to grow up and be a weirdo, you get into weirdo stuff.
19 kids.
19. According to a press release,
the brothers were doing this.
Yeah, second brother's involved now. The second oldest brother is Joseph Duggar. It was from 19 Kids and Counting. That was the name of their show.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
He has been arrested and charged with lewd and lascivious behavior involving unlawful sexual activity with a minor. According to a press release, a 14-year-old alleged victim was interviewed and made claims about several incidents involving the 31-year-old Duggar that she said occurred during a family vacation in Panama City Beach when she was 9 years old, which means he was 26 at the time. According to the investigation, the victim reported that Duggar repeatedly asked her to sit on his lap. As the vacation continued, he also asked her to sit next to him on a couch and covered them with a blanket. During this time, Duggar manipulated the victim's underwear and grazed her genitals. He would also continue to rub his hands on her thighs. The victim's father confronted Duggar about these incidents in March of 2026. He admitted the action to the victim's father and to detectives. He's been arrested and charged, awaiting extradition back to Florida.
Oh, well.
Throw the prison on top of him.
I'm telling you, man. What's the chomo?
Yep.
Pay the price.
Good luck, Bubba. Well, at least he's used to living in confined places with a whole bunch of people. Right. I mean, I guess that's good, right?
What a screwed up family.
Oh my gosh. I'm not sure if this is great news or terrible news. Do you guys remember the movie, the 1988 feature film Bloodsport?
Yeah.
Was that
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Was that Karate Man?
Kumite.
Yes. What an awesome movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's being remade.
Okay.
According to Variety, Michael Cole, who directed a movie called I May Destroy You, is directing this film. Yep. Now,
who's going to play Van Damme?
I don't know. Who could play Frank?
Somebody's got to do the splits.
It's going to be one of the Aussie brothers, right?
Who can play Captain Frank? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Who would play that?
Captain Frank. Yeah, no news yet. And they say they don't know how. And Van Damme's going to be a part of it.
He is.
Yeah.
Frank Dukes.
That's right. And remember, he He does his big move was where he did the splits and just punched the guy straight in the balls.
Oh yeah.
That's how, I mean,
Chong Li.
Usually that's like
Chong Li.
That's usually a move that you would think like the hero of the movie wouldn't do. Like you'd think the hero would be like he'd fight in a way that was honorable.
But I promise you.
Yeah, not
just
racking
go
somebody.
if you Google Jean-Claude Van Damme. One of the first 3 pictures that come up will be him doing the splits. He did the splits everywhere he went. Everywhere you just see him, he'd be down on the ground
Every
doing the
movie
splits.
he was in, there was some kind of split.
Yeah, he had to show off that he had no crotch tendons.
He was a backup dancer in Breakin'.
Yeah.
Remember that? How they made fun of his dancing?
But why did he punch the guy in the balls?
So he can win.
Look, I did it. Look.
Yeah, he can still
Doing
do
the
it.
splits.
He can still do it. Good for him.
Yeah, you're limble.
Good Lord.
Can you do it?
The splits?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm doing them right now.
Yes.
That's how I'm sitting on. I'm not even on a chair.
That's
I'm
how you're
doing
doing the
splits
show.
right now. I have
With the
2
split.
4x4s, and my ankles are on the 4x4s right now. It's just comfortable for me.
It's funny. My son, my older son, could do a full-blown splits when he was playing baseball.
One time I accidentally did.
Base,
At
right?
first base, yeah. So
you
like
have to.
he could stretch. I mean, and
I was going to say, you have
he's
to.
like 6'5", and he could get like flat,
Whoa,
legs
that's
flat to the ground.
that's
but
impressive.
then if you tell him out off the baseball field, do that. I can't do that.
Well, because
Like it's-
of stretching, like first base stretch out kind of stuff.
Yeah. But then when he would try to do it off the baseball field, he couldn't do it.
Dude, one time I stepped and I ended up in the hurdler. You know, when one leg's bent, and I stepped forward and I slipped down like that, and I pulled a hamstring for like 3 months. I'm not kidding, because my front leg slipped out. I am not limber.
I'm not either.
I'm brittle
You won't
like
ever be a cheerleader.
no. I'm brittle like an old stick. I snap. I don't bend. I snap.
Yeah.
Well, how are you going to be the mascot of the San Antonio Silver Foxes?
Well, like I said, we all. That's part of it.
Or the SA Tortas.
One of the benefits of being a
Rob will be
Silver
out there
Fox
with
is
he walk out there with his walker.
I'm the guy that every time I get up, I groan. So no, there's not a lot of splitting going on. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, I've got that same.
Have you
thing
seen
going on.
where they had that like crank thing that you'd see where they'd put their legs and crank it?
Oh,
No.
yeah. I've seen that.
I'll give you state secrets, man. I'll give up the nuclear
Oh, my
codes. You
God.
start
Yeah, it's in,
ratcheting that thing out.
I ran across it on TikTok. It was a cheerleading camp, and they do that so they can
Get
be
in here.
flexible.
Damn.
I think we can get to 5 today, Rob.
And finally, let's go to Port Orchard, Washington, where the Kitsap County Sheriff's Office says a 34-year-old man was arrested for driving under the influence
Of what?
of alcohol.
Oh, okay.
The dash cam video shows the man heading down Bethel Road at 12:30 a.m. Erratically. He was pulled over after deputy flashed his lights, but then he quickly sped off. They found the man an hour and a half later after he'd crashed into a ditch.
An hour and a half, so he got away.
Yeah, he blew a blood alcohol content over twice the legal limit.
Think how drunk he was when he got away.
Now, here's the thing
Right?
about it, though. He was riding an electric unicycle.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute.
Wait, I've seen that guy on the highway.
Let me
I
tell
think.
you can't be too drunk.
He was booking
On a
it.
unicycle, you have to be moderately sober just to get on the damn thing.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So this dude
Hold on.
evaded capture for
For
an
an hour and a half. He got away.
while he was juggling.
He got yeah.
Problem, Ossifer. It's part of the act.
Oh, Red Panda. I'm trying to become drunk Red Panda.
Get off the unicycle and back toward me. Show me your hands. Get off the unicycle and back toward me. So they gave him a field sobriety test.
Yeah.
Off his unicycle.
After he crashed into a ditch.
Oh, wow.
Imagine him like laying down his unicycles on top of
What, Ossifer? I think just because he rode it for an hour and a half.
It's pretty
Obviously,
impressive.
you're sober, dude. Go on home.
Pretty impressive, man. All right. Coming up next is the final segment of our program, and we do a little something we like to call the Daily Lines, where we try and take Vegas's money. We'll do that coming up next. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1.
4. All right, fellas, quick heads up. The 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic at the Golf Club of Texas on Monday, March 30th.
Yeah, it's officially sold out.
4. But don't worry, you can still be part of the fun. Join us after the round for the ultimate golf after party at 90 Proof Bar and Grill at Lucky Road Ranch and Highway 90. Cold drinks, great food, and about 1,000 exaggerated stories about the one drive that almost hit the fairway. The sold-out Spring Golf Classic, presented by Flight by Yingling and sponsored by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, Jim Beam, and Sarah Auto Group, On the Rocks Premium Cocktails, PPL Motorhomes, and Hornitos Tequila.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Scott, you've got a question about radio stations?
Yes, I do. Back in the 80s, when JD and I guess Bobo were doing radio, why did stations sound so different, like in a car or something? Were they compressed or something like that?
Bob? Cocaine.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Listen to the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturday morning at 8 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is for the landscaping pros. If landscaping is your business, you know the right equipment matters. Gravely is built for long days, clean stripes, and professional results that keep clients coming back. And right now, during the Gravely Mow the Distance sales event, you can get up to 20% off Gravely commercial mowers. It's the Gravely Mow the Distance sales event, March 19th through the 29th. Visit your local Gravely dealer today.
George Gets Justice. It's you versus them. The driver who changed your life. The insurance company dodging your calls. They want to give you up. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, they take on insurance giants and they fight to win. No upfront costs, no games. Just the fight for results. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George Gets Justice. GetGeorge.com.
The Valero Texas Open is a can't-miss event. Here's your chance to enjoy food, drinks, and the world's best PGA Tour pros as they tee it up at TPC San Antonio. You won't want to miss the unforgettable, unexpected, and winning moments at the Valero Texas Open. Proceeds help us continue a long-standing tradition of giving back to our community. Buy tickets on ValeroTexasOpen.com and join us April 2nd through the 5th.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. If you're tired of pain slowing you down from a recent injury or something that's been nagging you for years, we can help. At Arasti, we've earned the trust of over 8,000 physicians by delivering fast, lasting pain relief without painkillers or surgery. Our hands-on approach targets the root cause of pain, and most patients see results in just one visit. No referral needed, and it's covered by most insurance plans. So don't wait. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti. We fix pain fast.
Evan Cohen here. In life, as in sports, the pros make it look easy. That's why pro golfers like Jason Day, Ben Griffin, and Patton Kazire trust the pros in lawn care. True Green. They have the experience and expertise to give you a lawn worthy of the PGA Tour. And since True Green does the work for you, you get more free time, or more tee times. So stop stressing over your lawn and start loving it. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com because nobody makes it easier to get a golf course quality lawn than True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
The tournament is here, and Total Wine & More is your slam dunk headquarters. Whether you're cheering courtside from your couch with crisp craft beers, smooth bourbons, or refreshing seltzers, we've got the perfect lineup to keep your watch party winning. And just like your bracket, we've got a lineup full of contenders. Whether you're picking favorites or going for bold upsets, our friendly guides will help you find amazing drinks for every matchup. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Well, it's all right now, Mick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crossfire Hurricane. Crazy he was born in that. You believe him?
I do.
It's all right now. In fact, it's a gas. Jumping Jack Flash is a gas, gas, gas. Michael's right. They could have me in the new Bloodsport movie after I get my body back right. Now that I'm back in training.
Well, you're kind of in it now, but you're the other side. You're the guy that gets his ass kicked after you all stand in line and fight the karate guy instead of all getting him at once.
I would look like the guy who.
What would your name be in the movie?
Bok Choy.
Axeman?
No, I would like. They'd probably have me dressed up like a motorcycle rider, like a. I'd have
like a biker.
I'd have a Fu Manchu.
Tough guy number 3.
And an earring and a snarl, a tattoo on my neck, and Jean-Claude, Frank Dukes would just kick my ass and.
Oh yeah, you'd be probably the second to the last fighter.
Not even then.
Not even then. Maybe the first one.
He was such a douche.
Who's douchier though, him or Steven Seagal?
Oh. I think they're both equal in their merits.
I think Steven Seagal's the worst.
Yeah, Seagal, because he started to believe that he was really a karate man.
Like he could really beat up everybody.
And then you started doing those, what's it called when they do the fake karate where you just like touch a dude and they just like flip over like, and he's just doing this to him.
I don't know what they call that,
but
I
hate
hate
real
that.
to him. Yeah.
All right, let's wrap up the show the way we always do, Victor. Let's take a look at the Daily Lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the Daily Lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered, yeah!
All right, this is it, Rob. Time to make your decisions on these tournament games.
Let's go there.
The Frogs of TCU and the Ohio State University. Ohio State 1.5-point favorites.
I like TCU to take it outright. Go money line on this too.
I'm with you on that. It's corn. Nebraska taking on Troy. Nebraska laying 13.5 in this one.
Take Troy, though Nebraska wins.
I'll go opposite. I think Nebraska wins and covers. I think that Troy, a trendy dog, I don't think they get there, though. This trendy dog, I do think gets there. South Florida plus 4.5 against Louisville. Are you taking the money line?
Florida. I like South Florida here. I do.
Plus 155 on the money line?
I do. I think that they can win this outright.
All right. Wisconsin minus 10.5 against High Point.
They'll cover.
I'll tell you what. I like over 162.5. I think there's a whole.
What's his name? Rapp?
Rapp.
Rapp.
Taylor Rapp.
I can shoot.
Siena and Duke. Duke 27.5-point favorites.
No, I like Siena here. Take them to cover. They're not gonna run them by 27
I'm with
points.
you. I think if you're looking for a way to fade Siena, like if you want to back Duke, I would just take Siena's team total under. I think they're going to have a hard time scoring, But I don't think Duke's going to score a whole lot either. I like the total in this game is 135.5.
Right.
That's pretty low. I think Duke there's real reason why they shouldn't want to push the pace, why they don't want to just blow this team out. I can imagine them letting some scrubs play late.
So that's the only reason we go there. They're head and shoulders better, but I just don't know if they covered. 28 points is a huge ask.
Vandy McNeese, an 11.5-point favorite.
Covering it.
Don't know that I disagree with you there. North Dakota State, Michigan State 15.5-point favorites.
That's a big number for a Michigan State team, but I think there's enough there.
I'll do also. I'll do the team total under on North Dakota State.
That's probably safer.
This is North Dakota State's offense is so predicated on getting second chances. They need offensive rebounds. I don't think they're there for them today, so I like Sparty to hold them down. You and I are on opposites of this one. Arkansas and Hawaii.
Yeah, I like Arkansas.
I like Hawaii catching 15.5 on the road. So
and that's in Portland. That's a late
Portland. Game. Yeah, it's a 3:25 game.
Not late.
Not too late.
It'll be fun.
VCU, North Carolina.
Go Rams, baby.
I think we're on the same side of this one. We both like VCU.
Let me tell you, that VCU job, who's coaching him now? Is that Odom?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, he wins a couple games. He could get mentioned by some bigger, badder schools here than like Arizona State, I know, is in the market. Odom has him a couple of good games. He could be the Sun Devil head coach.
Yeah, I like VCU plus 125 just to win outright. Michigan minus 31.5 against Howard.
I saw Howard. They're going to get it.
You think Howard?
Howard's just. I think they have shot their wad, as it were. They won their game. So they're celebrating, and they see big 7-2 a die coming at them. It's going to be hard to score.
And remember, Michigan early in the year, they were beating everybody by 40 points.
And they don't mind doing it. And they like doing that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Texas and BYU. Texas a 2.5-point dog plus 115 if you like the money line.
Money line, baby.
I kind of think so too, man. I think BYU vulnerable 6 seed. I like Texas there. St. Mary's 3.5-point favorites against A&M.
Take St. Mary's.
Yeah, I bet St. Mary's minus 3 earlier in the week. I think I'd still like 3.5. I think they're a bad matchup. I think A&M
sucks, but yeah.
A&M's kind of a lamb slayer. They beat up on a bunch of bad teams this year.
I will say this: if they win, they're going to score a lot of points. So if you like them, bet the over.
I just don't know how they do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do that. Illinois laying 25.5 now against Penn.
Yeah.
I would lay it with Illinois. I think they blow them out of the water.
What's the coach's name? It always slips my mind.
Brad Underwood.
If I'm Underwood, go tell him I want 100 points.
Yeah.
I want fast-paced basketball from you because you're not always going to get to do that, but you got the guys to go and get that kind of number.
St. Louis and Georgia. Georgia a 2.5-point favorite here. I like St. Louis on the money line. Give me plus 125 on that one.
Straight up.
Gonzaga minus 21.5 against Kennesaw. Tough to get to that number, but I would not bet on Kennesaw here.
Yeah.
Mark Few, generally these teams blow out bad teams, blow out lower-level competition. I think they do it
And
here.
his style such is he's going to try to turn you over all the way through. That's just how they're going to play.
And they're really good on defense, really good. Also really good on defense, the Houston Cougars, 23.5-point favorites against Idaho. I think they cover it.
Yeah, that's going to be an onslaught. Now,
because one thing, Kelvin Sampson does not take off the gas ever.
And it's all layups and dunks. That's the problem because if they get ahead, they're going to keep coming ahead. The only thing that could hamper them, I don't think it'll be ever in doubt. If they're just cold shooting, it might stay close just because they just can't put it in the hole.
But I think they'll get enough offensive rebounds.
3-4 rebounds.
It might not matter. Mm-hmm. Going back to last year when Houston played their first round game, SIU Edwardsville, they won 78-40.
Yeah.
78-40. The year before that, they played Longwood 86-46. They're Northern Kentucky the year before 63-52. They will look to embarrass you if they get a chance.
Go get some, Houston. This is you're talented enough, and you're not as big time as you were last year. You're in the prime space.
I'm with you. Go out there and get you some. NBA. Pistons without Cade Cunningham.
If you're just joining us, it broke this morning that Cade Cunningham has a collapsed lung after last night and will be out indefinitely. Huge for the East.
Okay, so what do you think that does to the line when they're at the Wizards?
Not much. I still like them to
14.5 on the road without their best player.
Let's see. They gave up 83 to a dude last week. I think that Detroit will be all right.
Orlando's at Charlotte. Charlotte 5.5-point favorites The Spurs, that's a 7-10 tip. They are 9.5-point favorites over Phoenix.
I'd wrap Charlotte in there, too. I think they're hot. Hot as all get out.
Yeah, you like them against Orlando?
Yeah.
Cleveland minus 12.5 at the Bulls. I don't understand this. The Lakers plus 3.5 at Miami.
Let me check.
They've won like 9 games in a row.
And Miami got smoked by Charlotte just recently.
I don't even know if I mean, as long as both LeBron and Luka aren't out, I think I like the Lakers here.
I do too.
Clippers plus 1.5 at New Orleans. The Utah Jazz plus 5.5 hosting the Bucks, and the Sixers laying 2.5 on the road in Sacramento. I kind of like the Sixers to get the job done there.
The only thing to look at Miami is Bam's game time. That's it.
Nothing for the Lakers?
Kleber's game time decision, but that doesn't mean anything.
This is inexplicable to me. Give me the Lakers plus 3.
Absolutely.
In fact, give me the Lakers money line plus 125.
Absolutely.
All right, friends. It's time.
Go. Oh, enjoy it today. We get it once a year. Oh, it's going to be so good.
Yes.
I would.
Tournament time.
Your watch party is different than mine.
Oh, isn't it though?
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Put it in the basket.
Oh no. Is my thing off, Vic?
Oh. Go ahead.
Yes. All right. We've made it, friends. Hey, good luck with your brackets. Chances are good. It'll be ruined tomorrow.
SA Sports Star. What's the official bracket name to go to? San Antonio Sports Star Bracket Challenge 2026. Get there.
Okay. I'm going to get there now. I'm going to get in. I'm going to get in on the action. So go ahead and beat me and beat the Silver Fox, Rob Thompson. You keep turning my sound off, Vic.
Sorry.
We'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the games, everybody. Blitz coming up at 2.
You're listening to The Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob